listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Good evening. Welcome to Outside the Box. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia, here at criticalmassradio.co.uk. And boy, did we ever have a lot of fun this afternoon on the earlier show on the Two for Tuesdays. You know, just an incredible amount of sharing. I will actually be downloading anyway, but get that particular show up where a few people need to experience it. It's not. You don't hear this when you experience it. But anyway, that being said, where do we go from here? Well, I'll tell you, the impact that we are having collectively now on this universal psyche is getting beyond profound, which is exactly kind of the goal we were aiming for anyway, you know? So it's about taking back your own causal abilities. And normally you'll hear people talk about be, do, and have. And you cannot even get into the doing or the having aspect until you truly be. And the simple truth is this, and people can argue it all day. I know what it is. It's just pure, caught in the physicality, ego, trying to defend the last bastions of bullshit, right? You cannot be causal if you are unknowingly and ignorantly acting as a legal, dead by consent, fiction name. That's a fact. And that's why anyone that's wanting to walk into courtrooms of any kind whatsoever, this is the one fundamental thing that people need to get. Until that contract is nullified in your heart, it's not a piece of paper. You don't need anyone's permission to send anything anywhere. I just simply send out information, my truth as I uncover it. And I just broadcast it, because the joy of the system in that it will destroy itself, already has, is that anything deemed sent is already deemed contract upon sending. And it's very easy to prove. For any egos that still can't get this. If there's a mailbox on the side of your house without a lock on it, without strict instructions as to what you will or will not accept, again, I'm being very literal here, trying to give you the concept. If you haven't outlined it in pure, this is all you will accept, and you are accepting all contracts. Occasionally people will say, no solicitors and no junk mail. And of course, go figure, they actually abide by that. So you can tell, if you want to play with this just to have some fun. Just put in a little something, and get this in your heart first. Put a little notice in your mailbox, not accepting anything with dead legal fiction name on it. Thank you. Now, whether they put anything in the mailbox or not is relevant, because you've broken that string connecting you ethereally to the assumption. Once you remove all the assumption and presumption that others have over you, thinking that somehow someone has authority to tell you what to do. This is why, people that talk about voting, or, anyone that's even considering, well, I'm going to run for office with this new party, and you're still a fucking meat stick. You're completely enmeshed in the system, and you haven't got a clue as to who you are. It was kind of funny. I checked out a link that was shared on my Facebook regarding Benjamin Fulford, and fool indeed. But again, I look at it from the anagogic. I'll take the headlines and redefine them as it pertains to my reality that I am in control of. That no one can plant seeds in me. I have my own, thank you very much, and I'll keep those to myself and share those seeds with anyone who wants to share. Other than that, it's like the table here. I didn't drag any of you kicking and screaming to the table. You came here of your own true will choice, not just free will choice. So in that choice, you have contracted with truth. And the truth is yours. This is the whole joke about it. Once you really get into this and see how incredibly magnificent you are, that's the bitch about doing this, because that's all I see. And it's like, and many of you are starting to just go nova. That's the shit I'm talking about. When I see superstars going supernova, I get all tingly and excited, and this is fun, But it's a very simple truth. It had to be simple. It had to be so mind-numbingly simple as to how we got caught up in this, how it happened to us drip by drip while we weren't paying close attention. Well, some of us were, and some of us have, quite frankly, had enough, and we're just taking it all down. So it's a little contract, spiritual contract for anyone that's working in the, I don't know, say legal profession, government, anything connected to that whatsoever. Anytime you ask for anyone's and then collections, I don't care, anyone that is using the name to try to create a spiritual joinder to kill you, by the way, spiritually, by asking for that name, is actually guilty of the highest crime of all. Now, there are many that are ignorant of this, yet retain and maintain a benevolent soul. As we were talking earlier on the afternoon show, these are just people that wanted to do a job. They had no idea what they were getting into. And the masters that deceived them by proper and meticulous, careful training, and of course ego boosting, that's all part of the game. It's that, sell them on the power, the money, and all the rest of it. You can't really look at it any way than a lot of beautiful people that had beautiful intentions that got corrupted, not of their own free will choice. Because the problem with the system is once you get into something, and I don't care what it is, delivering newspapers or being a cop or whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. You get into doing these things because you've been conditioned since the day you got here that you need to go out and make money, that you need to go out and exchange energy for fictitious concepts, that you can trade those fictitious concepts for somebody else and get something from them. And really what this does is it absolutely limits your ability of abundance, because you feel that you need to do something in order to have anything. You see what I mean about being? How about you just be and accept all things? So getting back to the whole court thing, and I have to say, John, your little video that you took where you got your with compliments court canceled note back, for anyone that is thinking that they want to win a legal battle, how about you just not bother? How about you just win? Because once you know this, and this is the frustrating part, it's so crazy simple. If someone comes up to you and asks you for your name, all you have to answer them is simply this: is this so-and-so? No. Are you sure? Absolutely, I'm sure. Does so-and-so live there? No. It's not asking you for a who, it's asking for a what. And if you answer as a what, you're dead. I don't know. Inanimate objects are whats, not whos, right? So it's time for Horton to hear a who instead of a what. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I'm going to keep drilling on this until this crazy simple thing sinks in. This is why, for people that are quite sure of who they are yet, just not quite sure, well, you don't have to do anything with regards to destroying identification. However, I'd highly recommend it. But understand that is a contract, that there is an agreement to it. Just simply look at it and go, no, that was fraud. Everything you've ever carried in identification is fraud. The question is, do you want to continue committing fraud on a spiritual level? And if the answer is no, well, then that is all erased. These were all contracts done with deception and fraud, with intent to deceive. And we covered this a long time ago. But again, I want to try to keep it simple, simple, simple. And what he did was he kept it simple. Used a document, I who shall not be legally named, with regards to a citation or something. And it had nothing to do with the paperwork. This is what people need to understand. The writing that are in the documents that I share and write are words. They're my words because I understand them fully, because they're the concept that I'm trying to share. And all anyone else has to do to make them their words is get the concepts and just ask yourself, would I write it in the same way that Kate did to explain the same thing? And if the answer is yes, then whose writing is it? It's yours. It's a really simple thing. But you've got to spend the time with you. You've got to spend the time. If you really want to never mind setting yourself free. That's the primary directive here, because you're not going to set anybody else free until you set yourself free. The same reason why on airplanes they always recommend that put the mask on the adult first before you put it on the child, because there's no point in you trying to save a child if by chance you end up getting wiped out. That's an allegory, not a literal. Okay? Just see the concept. You got to take care of yourself first. You got to be the one to take care of you, because I'll tell you the magic of taking care of you, that everyone that is attached to you, that you love, that has compassionate heart and benevolence, and you might not always get along with the ones you love, but you know them well enough. That's the greatest service you could do. Because in awakening yourself, by default, those with the compassionate heart come with you. And those that are simply Bioborg, meets Shetty, soulless, evil consciousness, they get obliterated, all right? Sorry, you can't rationalize or reason with something that's insane or psychotic. Just let it go, erase it from your memory. And it really, really is this simple. And I go back to the same question: what paperwork should I use? For me, it's not about serving documents in the standard Case Phi-L. This is simply taking your truth, your knowledge, empowering yourself with the understanding of it, and informing other points of consciousness, typically duped in the system, and watch the magic happen. And it's happening more and more every day. We have lots of things going on, and people come to the table and share that which they need to share. And that this table is here. For me, it's just the one point of absolute certainty that I know I'm going to be gathering around with people of similar mind, of similar heart, to take this nonsense out of our reality and to shut it down once and for all. And I do mean for all time. And that's what we're doing here. That's why it's here 7 nights a week. It's that one point of reference that I can come to, and hopefully all of you can come to, where we can sit around sanely and discuss these things. No debates required. That game doesn't work. You see, ego has to believe something. That's the problem with ego. The spirit simply knows. And when someone believes this or believes that, then they are dealing in a duality and will fight literally to the death to prove their point. You know, it's crazy. But that's what the ego is. The ego is the schizophrenic. It is the external program. And when you start really finding you in that quagmire of nonsense, 4 words. Kate, you were right. Well, make it 6. Make it 7, actually. I am awesome. Yes, you are. And that's all I'm trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you that. It took me a long time to figure that out, and I'm still working on it. You know, we are walking this road together, yeah? We all have our roles to play. And I'm watching the magic unfold as so many of you are just getting shit done, you know? And the system, as we peel these layers back, has no recourse. There is no legal remedy in this system. There is no set court precedence. There is no setting this or setting that. That's still Babylonian psychobabble. Because if you know who you are, and many of you do, it's as simple as, I know who I am. I'm not of the dead by consent realm. Because the only thread the system has to you, and it connects all things to the whore of Babylon commerce, is the legal name. You agree to be that, then you are in contract with the whore. Dead by consent, so don't think that you can go into court and fight because you're already dead. That's why courts cannot hear you. Any and all courts cannot hear the dead. They'd be insane. They don't talk to dead people. They leave that up to, humanity until they awaken. So there is the good and evil aspect of it. And they will test you. They will want to make sure that you know who you are. I've been tested many times. Some a little more intense than others, but I know who I am. And at whatever cost it is physically for me, I'll trade that for immortality. Sure I will. Wouldn't make sense to do anything else, now would it? But that being said, let's get this table wide open tonight. And again, everyone be mindful of time lags with different Skype areas and phone lines and whatever. They do kind of work fairly well at the table, but there sometimes can be a 1 to 3 second delay. So just breathe, when someone finishes their point, by all means jump in. It's just to stop all of it's you guys know it. It's just annoying. It's like crazy. But and most times it is just because of the time lag. So I do want to bring that up again tonight. Other times it's just people needing to jump and get excited, and I get that too. But guys, we have the end game, so let's just stay the course. And I want to hear from every one of you. So that being said, all you need to do is call in at 661-467-2401. Of course, you can Skype in through the Blog Talk page. Hit the Skype button, and I'm just looking for the, looks like a BTR listener 056. Thank you, Equicentric. Look at you guys go. All right, so, yes, BTR listener 056. So if you want to search that in your contacts, right-click it, hit call. It'll bring you right to the table. What else? Oh, yeah. You want to get on the table, let me know that you want to talk. All you have to do is hit 1 on your dial pad on your phone or hit 1 on the Skype dial pad. You just have to open that up. And would love to hear from all of you. It was great chatting with Amy and Borean and Darren. Lynn was there. Who else? Oh, there was a lot of people there. That's the thing is, yeah, you all know who you are. So thank you for that. And then let's just get more of this going on, because it's not important anymore that I speak of the quote victories unquote that I have had. That's irrelevant to you. What is more important to me now is you sharing the very same things to show others that we're onto something here. I know we are, but you know what I mean. It's better that others hear it from someone other than me, the mouthy tranny. Okay? Just that's the agreement to the, look, we're winning concept, so that we carry that one further. So hands up, boys and girls. Let's get this puppy rolling. Who wants in? No one's got their hand up yet. Oh, there we go. Janet's there. There's an untouchable. How are you, Janet?
Great, untouchable with you. Yeah, that was a beautiful show today. I was just so floating. It was so beautiful sharing with Darren and you and Amy. I heard her on Mike's show, too. I was really happy to hear her voice. And Borean, I finally got to hear him, and just everyone, Ninja, even though she didn't get to stay very long. But that was a beautiful story as well. So, yeah, I'm just being happy.
Yeah, it was wall to wall. Get it done today, and it didn't stop. You know.
No, it was perfect. Yep, and I had the bottle of water. I've been charging it with the table energy, so that's been really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like speaking truth and then drinking it.
Yeah. Yeah, got to keep this going fast as I can.
The faster the better, I think. And for me, it's been exponential for a while, but nothing beats that rush of whoa, check that out. I got to tell you, when Amy came in today, and thank you so much, Amy, and I know that she had talked with Michael. It was just wonderful to hear someone that has the inside scoop coming to the table and showing that we're on the right. Yeah. You know, even called me a bad girl. Whoa, based on what you're doing, huh? You got some bad in you, in all the good ways.
when she called Mike, she was saying, "Oh, I'm so in love with Kate." So that was so sweet. I'm so glad she called in. Yeah, I knew she was going to soon, so that's great.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. It doesn't seem like anybody wants to talk tonight, Janet, so I guess it's just going to be us two. You know, no one has anything, obviously worthwhile to share. And, poke. Sorry, can I get your goat? We have a two-side order of goat here, and, oh, look, dead pig. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I thought it was interesting, too. Ninja had posted a notice regarding some guy that was the coach of Manchester United, which, of course, Manchester United was my team. I like Liverpool, too. It's all good, guys, the rivalry, whatever. But looking at the word again, I thought, oh, isn't that interesting? The man, key, stir, right? We have there's ma, mother, the creation of the mind, key, life, stir, divine feminine force, untied. You just got to flip the letters around a little bit, and you'll see it. So that post that she put up today, just, oh, look at that, the man, key, stir, untied.
Excuse me, kind sir, can I have my goat back?
Hello, Darren, how are you?
Fabulous. I got myself organics, and I feel just fine. Everybody thought they had a hard time understanding Scots. The goat's coming out.
Reminds me of the movie Stardust when the goat gets turned into a man. the innkeeper, and just to look on it, the guy that did that did an incredible job. But I thought it was interesting, and of course the other, what was the other? I think it was the young guy or something, whatever, and the witch turned him into a barmaid, right? It's just
that was good. Yeah.
When you start really seeing what's going on in the movies, you start laughing, like really, really hard. It's like, no, you can't make this up. Elvita had posted the link to Ghost Ship, and I urge people to have a watch of that. And if you're not profoundly slapped upside the head, I don't know what's going to do it to you. But when you really see what's going on in that, you put yourself as the main character at the end of it. Oh, Elvita's coming in. Maybe, hey, you know what? That would be great. I'd love to hear Elvita's take on Ghost Ship.
Oh, yes, I'm here, and I'm here to talk about Ghost Ship because it was definitely so on point. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Elvita.
Yeah.
Hi, Elvita. Glad to hear you. So glad you could come and talk about us goat getters.
Say again?
Here to get your goat. It's all good.
Oh, yes. We got all the goats. Yes, I have to watch the movie because I don't know how much I need to tell, but I want to tell everything. Anyway, Katie is the main character in Santos. Wow. I don't need to say nothing else.
Wow.
Just watch the movie. That's all I'm saying. Oh, that set the record straight. We got the gold. We got the maritime law. We got it all in there. So please watch it.
Yeah, including the bad guy, the soul collector, and his name is Ferryman.
Oh, yes.
The Ferryman. Wow.
Oh, you cannot make
I want to
this
see
shit
that.
up. Oh, my goodness, yes. So
now
I'll post the link. It's there, so please watch it.
One other allegory, well, there's many in it, but one of the biggest allegories in it, when you get to the end of the movie, and what the whole movie revolves around in terms of the gold on board the Ghost Ship, what that is telling you anagogically is the ship, being the mind, has to remove the physical illusion of gold. Like, look what they did, and the only reason there was the one survivor. I don't care. I'll ruin the movie. The only reason there was one survivor was because she changed her contract. She wanted nothing to do with the gold. She wanted to throw it over the side. You know? Yep. And, of course, the little girl, she didn't have the mark, so she was being held in universal law, boy, did I relate with that one. I don't carry the mark of the beast. You cannot claim me. So as a net result of my being here, the game is over.
Huh?
It is that simple.
Yeah. It laid out everything that Kate talked about. It lays it out nice and neat, So now, I saw the movies before, but now it has meaning to it. I understand it so clear, It's all about getting the soul. They got the goal as the base, but it's really about the soul. So all those greedy people that wanted to get that gold and steal it and all of that, they all died. They took their soul, so greed will kill you every time.
Yeah, and interesting to note at the very end, she saw her crewmates loading the gold on the new ship, the new mine, to trap them. So that was very, very profound.
Yeah.
So again, it's you got to be the one to change your mind. Dump the gold over the side, and the gold is the allegorical trapping of consciousness in material gain, in material wealth, and worshiping of that physicality. That's how the gold, the consciousness got trapped in the gold. It's an allegory. It's not literal. And there wasn't people sitting around with little machines to take your consciousness and put it inside gold. Okay, it's a concept, and when you get there, you'll understand it. One other point I do want to bring up here as well. For those that understand the difference between their physical self and their spiritual causal self, the true you, now you walk between the worlds, and you can choose whatever you want in the physical to take literally, or at any given point, you can redefine your reality, and that's all I do all day. But anyway, it gives you the tools to literally watch your reality shift in front of you. So grab a few headlines and retranslate them. Use Phoenician. It's really cool. The sound works. And redefine them as to what you would want that contract to be. Because every spell that is sent out in the literal is a spell. If you agree with it, then you are putting energy into that intent. So change the intent of a headline. I've done that many times on the air, and it's a lot of fun. And lo and behold, shit happens. I did want to get back to the Ben Fulford thing. You want to talk about COINTELPRO. They're going to do everything in their power to keep you buying into the false hope of the deceivers. I just translated anagogically, so it doesn't matter to me. But apparently, based on the little bit that I read, Fulford seems to think that it's okay to be in line with the Queen and the Pope because they want peace. There will be no peace while that part of consciousness exists, and that's what's coming down the pipe. The game is over. Pick a ship. Yep. Yours or theirs.
Yep.
Theirs is
and
going.
They're on the sinking one, and it's sinking fast.
Oh yeah.
Muting out.
Oh, I was going to ask you, Alvita, what other moments in the movie? There was lots of great, like the opening scene is incredible, and I had the DVD of that, so I was able to watch the making of, and it was some crazy awesome special effects and how they set that up. It was just, boy, it's just such a profound opening scene, eh?
Yeah, it was. It's, the whole movie is telling you the whole story, that everything is repeating itself. Everything is just repeated over, and they're doing it with the gold now. It's so crazy.
Yeah, and so the opening scene is the allegory of us being literally cut in two, divided and conquered. And at the very end of the movie, you see the final outcome.
Mm-hmm.
We're free.
And we're the ones who make that cut.
Mm-hmm. No one else. You are the only one. You're the one you've been waiting for. So make your choice. Which ship do you want to be on? The one that's done, going down, never to float again? Or your own mind, your own ship? I think I know the answer to that one.
I feel it. I hear it. I got a nice little text from an individual that's in a space that's very much in the system, and its policies. It's amazing. Her sharing today demonstrates even under those circumstances, the consciousness is willing to accept itself. We've come into the white yang as far as the Tao is concerned, and this is a time for all. There was a time for only the emperors, only the enlightened, only the servants. And white yang is that time. That's what we're in now.
Exactly. Darren, did you want to, I know you shared it this afternoon, but did you want, I'd love for those that didn't get a chance to listen to hear your experience of the last couple of days. That would be awesome.
Certainly. Yeah.
Please, thanks.
420 was a really special day for most of the free world, or the ones who are able to be free enough to protest or make a statement in regards to 420 medicinal marijuana. I took the opportunity to take 42 copies of Babylon is Fallen. It was an intent based on the answer to the universe being 42. And it so happened being 420. And by 420, I was handing the last copy to an individual who accepted it gracefully. He began to read it, and by the third paragraph, you could see on his face that he'd been waiting for that. I even said it to him. He'd been waiting for that. And he was near tears of joy choked back. He'd been waiting for it. He's been out of the box for a while. Highly suggest sharing it, because you never know what kind of gold you'll find. And we began to talk, and Spirit created every answer, every question he had, just from 3 paragraphs. He got his answers for all his life, everything that came through his thoughts, all his memories. He was clearing it there in that moment. He was choosing himself. He saw. He witnessed. And he even said, "You could call me crazy, but I think I know who you are." And all I said to him was, "How's it feel, God?" And he lit right up. You know? It was beautiful. We're waiting for the answers, and all you have to do is look past the veil. Look past they're not getting it, they're asleep. Deliver it in your way. It's freedom. And you deliver it with a smile, no expectation, no attachments. There's individuals who didn't want nothing to do with the truth. Didn't even look at the paper. Had one claim to be a Wiccan wizard. Another one claimed to know their own God. Another one couldn't even say a word, just walked away. Truth has an effect that way. And it's there for us all, in every moment. Catch yourself making a definition, creating it through your thoughts and your tongue, and you expose your own truth to your own self. And that's what that man rejoiced in that day, because he let a lot loose, and accepting it at the same time as his gift. The Spirit made sure that came from my tongue. All your lows, all your experiences are your energy. Do not let them go, accept them. And you will know when you get to use the strengths that were delivered through that experience in time. And that puts a smile on your face, an inner smile like he wore. I can see it like I'm still there. Everybody got a copy, got asked questions. Not do you want, do you read? Are you interested in freedom? How's the idea of standing upright to you? That's how you weed out the ones who pay attention. The ones I was handing it off to, often there would be 3 or 4 behind me going, I heard you, I want a copy. As soon as I set the intent to share those copies, they were gone. Except for that one. Everything changed that day. Yeah, and then Kate got that email stating all the emails that went out. You know, I'd be curious how many there were, how many actual places got. Yeah, no, just for the number thing.
The number that was listed was at least 239 separate addresses. So
that's cool.
Yeah, you can exponentiate that any way you want.
That reminds me of an old cowboy joke. How many beans in a bean sandwich? 239, because one more would be 240.
Just a coincidence, huh?
Just a coincidence. Well, that's awesome. So yeah, left the park, police hovering all around it. Asked if I should give a piece to them, and Spirit said no. Let it come from the inside out. Literally. Didn't have to give one to them, because it's going to come from the inside out. So I walked through, got lots of smiles, because someone had already read it. It was amazing. And then bumped into a gentleman on the street that would be recognized as a drunken Indian. But he saw me from 50, 60, half block away. I saw him. We came together, created the Vesica Pisces between the two, in exchange, and created. And he literally stood within immense tragedy in his family. He knew he had fallen from his upright position, and he said he wasn't a drunkard, but he's using it just to be able to shut down. He's overwhelmed. Most people would see him as an Indian, drunken. Why? A veil. It's not who they are. Because we here at the table, we know who we are. Who us, I, you. The ones who don't have a name, a face. He released again, and I didn't have a copy for him. Yet, everything I shared with him, he took in with a big inner smile, because he was seeing the truth. If you want this morning's show, do it as I do. Listen, record. I can't regurgitate, I can't repeat. It was truly a beautiful moment. Everybody can do it. That's how it changes. No rescuing, no savioring. Let them light up. If they light up, you'll know. Save your breath. Save a brain cell. Share your breath. They'll save themselves. Lift the veil. They'll witness the truth. Lift the veil for yourself, on yourself. All is answered. These are the things that the conscious and the ego delivers to us. The emotions, the energies that we pull in through our infinite, immortal selves. Duck when you hear a quack. take their minerals, their grain of salt dissolved. Someone attacks you, let them know you have no wound for their salt. They look stupid at you like a bird, buying you time to walk away, like a champ. These are your freedoms, these choices. When it happens, you can catch it. Your mouth, your thoughts rat you out every moment. Being honest with yourself is fun. You get to call yourself fun names like a-hole and a whole bunch of things. But be gentle, because that's the practice. Five points, 5 senses. One way. That's always. True freedom comes from within. Every time you point the finger out, know you left. Every time you point the finger out, 'cause know you left. No matter how justified you are, know you left. And your bubble will shine. Especially on the rainy days. Because the seagull song always sings that the sun shines above the gray skies. Namaste.
Well put. Well put. Yeah, I'm just sitting back enjoying energy. It's just a nice flow, and a lot of things come through. When you were talking about the different individuals and how many people we've all come into contact with, that you just wanted to share this with them, and the ego kicks into full program, and it's all fear-based. It's at that point that I just move along and take care of business for oneself. I still see emails from people regarding things like, what was the other one? Let me just get back to it. Just one sec, I'll find this. And I'll ask you guys what your take on this is. And when you don't understand fundamental contract of servitude called the name and the consent to be that thing that is not you, never was you, and was sold, given away actually, and paid, mom and dad paid to register their children, then you still haven't broken the only contract that needs broken, because everything else comes into play with it. And I don't care if it's the United Nations, I don't care if it's a Vatican, I don't care if it's a courthouse, I don't care if it's a cop, I don't care if it's a bank, mortgage, I don't give a fuck what it is. Because if it's got a legal name on it, that's the contract, baby. No mark of the beast, no commerce. It's really, really simple. So here, let me just bring this one up. I still get stuff like this. It drives me nuts, especially when people should fucking know better. Anyway, thank you for input on Declaration of Rights. This came as a forwarded email from someone else, not the individual that sent it, but the individual that it surrounds, and I actually know this individual. Anyway, thank you for your input on Declaration of Rights. Not talking to me, it's somebody else. Seems we ought to know that we know these things, regardless of what they or others attempt to say and conjure up laws, statutes, definitions about to control others and enslave them. And of course, the heading here is the term human beings is used here. Here we go again, then individual, then. And there's a posting of definition of human being in Black's Law edition. Okay, let me share this with you. Article 17. This is fictitious nonsense, all right? Article 17, I've heard some people reference this thinking that they're free. But here's the question I'm going to ask you. Are you still thinking you're a legal name? Are you still thinking that? Then you're fucked. And here's why. Article 17, everyone has the right to own property alone as well as in association with others. Excuse me, I don't need some piece of paper to tell me that. Okay, so there's a bullshit story right there. And 2, no one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his property. Well, if you've given away using a name that was given away, your property. This is the joke that drives me nuts, and most people who are still in this legal shite stuff still don't get the fundamental. And I've been talking about this for years, and actually where this email originated was from an individual that I've talked to a few times, and I just get tired. And actually, this individual has been in the Skype rooms. It's going back a while, but still spewing the same shit. Like, wake up. Wake up. Know thyself. Because until you break that contract, you're a slave. That is, for me, the pivot and the only hinge that this system has. To the degree that you are enslaved is to the degree that which you want to participate in consenting to be that. You've got to break this contract in the mind and heart. It's not a piece of paper. Get this, and then if you actually really get it, then you start seeing all the things that you're connected to. And when you start seeing the things you're connected to, it's all fraud. Start looking at them and going, no, that's fraud. There was intention to deceive me, null and void. Intention to deceive me, null and void. All the way down the line. And when you do that, what's happening is you're putting these beautiful, invincible bricks around you, if you will, that are impenetrable by anyone or anything in their dead world system. It is pure and utter magic of the highest order. But you have to see that for yourself to believe it. You see, I don't believe it, right? Because the truth never required my belief. It just required my acceptance. And upon accepting this, guess what happens? Oh, look, it magically shows up. Anyway, it's mind-numbing. It really is. Sorry, Bill Donahue has uploaded another video. Let's see what the update on the consciousness is today. Many are called, few are chosen. That tell you enough? Thanks, Bill. You always say it in one little headline. And, of course, it's number 18, which means consciousness. Many are called, few are chosen. And to the degree that you want to keep going around in this Groundhog Day meat-sickle, go ahead, knock yourself out, because you're going to keep coming through the same lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, doing the same shit over and over again. You might remember deja vu moments. That's just a reminder of saying, you've been here before, stupid, wake up this time. Oh, look, there's another Kate of Gaia deja vu moment. If you're hearing this right now, you messed up last time, welcome back into this timeline. Thank you for being here. It's beautiful. But that's the thing, guys. This all comes back to you. You are the only authority in your reality. You are the only point of consciousness you can prove. No one can make you right or make you wrong. Anyone trying to do so is caught up in their own ego program. Me, I just don't have time for it. I'm not into debates. I'm not into bullshit. What I am into is seeing the truth. Knowing the truth from the position of not knowing it and not believing a damn thing anyone tells me until I see it for myself, manifest within self. I always bring it home first. Isn't that interesting? So that lost puppy called your soul, bring it home. You'll appreciate it. You really will. Where we got here? Oh, looks like I lost Darren. And, there we go. There we go. Where's Borean? Let's see if we got, because I know Borean was wanting. There he is. I'll open your mic, Borean, because you jumped in today, and I'd love to hear. Oops, I hit Sarah's mic. Sarah, if you want to jump in, no mistakes in this table. Well, I got Borean, and I've got Darren back. Okay. And Sarah, thank you for the giggle. Did you want to share anything, or I can just mute your mic back out? Up to you. Okay, I guess that's a no. All right, I'll just mute that out for her.
Well, she's close. She's almost there.
Yep.
Could feel it. could just feel it. It's bubbling at the surface, ready to burst through.
Oh, it's all there. And look how, speaking of few were chosen, boy, we got lots of the few here, don't we?
Yeah, there's so much out there.
We have arrived.
Yay! Lots of background noise, guys, so just make sure. I'm not sure where that's coming from. Really, really loud. Really loud. Check. It is. Borean, it's on your end, so I'm not sure what's going on. So if you can just double check that, I'll open your mic up again. I'm not sure. There was a bit of feedback happening, but let's one more time. Nope. Sorry, Borean.
The airways are polluted, man.
Oh yeah. It's all right. Let's throw the nice big cover over that and get rid of all the garbage. So I'll keep trying, Borean. And are we there? That's a bit better. You there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of wind in the background where you are. Or, are you outside?
Really? No. I'm actually inside, but the window's open. But
oh no, it sounds better now.
What's open. Anyways, I just want to say that we are turning the me, the M-E, into the we, and it is expanding exponentially. The we is, the word is moving out. It is expanding big time, and it's just exciting to see. I just wanted to say that.
Oh, indeed it is. It's really cool when you start to see it. And until you start to see it, you don't know what it is until you see it. And it's like, whoa, that's a moment. And you get lots of them. It's just so nice to hear from so many people that are seeing it and experiencing it. And how cool is it? Isn't that pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. In the neighborhoods, everywhere.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, we got a little over an hour on the show here. I'm not going to roll over. Go figure. 2 shows in one day. I don't usually roll over on Tuesdays anyway. Just really just want to absorb all these moments of late. They're just crazy, overwhelming, awesome. So, and I should mention as well on the SoundCloud, I uploaded 13 songs today. So if you go to my SoundCloud. .com/Kate-of-Gaia. You can access. There's another link in there because I couldn't log into the Kate of Gaia one. I guess I logged in through Facebook and it's showing up via Facebook. But I posted that link for anybody who wants to download, share, do whatever you want. They're all yours. So knock yourself out. Just wanted to share that.
Fine.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Oh, and the other one is. SoundCloud.com/Kate. I think it's -Renee.
So, Borean, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
You just did. Ask me another one.
Yeah. Damn, I used it up. No, this morning we were talking about music. That was you, correct?
It was, yes.
Yeah. Did you get your goat back?
I
found my goat. Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah. Awesome. You guys rock.
Yeah. I ducked as soon as I heard you say disliked. And I just went, oh no, duck. There's a goat. I got a goat. Dang. I don't hunt the goat. The goats just come naturally to me. Always have.
And the best part is, after we had the little chat, everybody was right. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm. It expanded. That's all I saw was the expansion. Because what you shared after that in regards to if you accept the song as your own. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, if we were playing volleyball, we got a point.
Game over as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It only takes one to win.
That's right. Moment to moment.
Yeah, and don't mind me, guys. Really, there's not a whole lot. really want to say.
I know. I'm in the same space. We had an interstellar show this morning.
Yeah, it's. By the way, it had to be me that showed up, right? Amy?
No
Amy?
kidding.
Yeah, the magnetic electric is here. So thanks. That's why I was waiting. It was kind of cool. Funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah. I wonder if we could play her. Could we play her part again?
I'd have to download it and re-upload it.
Forget that.
And I'd have to edit it. It's also not a chance for tonight. But what I will do is I might even just pop that show for a revisit tomorrow night. It's only an hour and 3/4 because we have to roll out.
She had like 15 minutes.
At least it was a beautiful soliloquy she shared.
Oh yeah, and then followed up with intention. Wow. Because that's what everybody brings to the table, is an opportunity to share an intention within their experience. They're dialed into that frequency, that energy, because of their experience. Like it or not, you can let go all you want. I can assure you I'll find the vibration if I look. That's what I do. So when you have someone who shares their experience, direct them back to themselves. Because even in sharing it, I notice in myself, it pulls. It pulls you out of the now. So taking her experience in a beautiful, long, arborous experience, 20 years in the forest, and having her put the power back into it. If you need those words, if you need the word power, look in, but so you can hear me, to put the power back into her new now, herself, God, whatever. Intent through that experience will deliver through to that consciousness, because of the frequency and the vibration is already part of. It's like a natural law, universal law. It's within every moment. Someone lays a heavy load on you, don't go, oh, poor, pitiful you. In your mind, in your thoughts, just thank them for the experience. Watch what happens for them. Because it's you. If all you can pull out of it, of their story, is, oh fuck, I'm glad it wasn't me, you're on the right track. But look deeper, because there's more. These are the teachings of the Huna. Boy, I'd love to hear one of them come on, because the law is nothing more than an allegory to standing upright. That was its original intent at some point, I feel. All I have to say when we're done, the next person who starts to act because they're bored, because they have no emotional BS going on anymore, I'm kicking their butts. This has not been a fun journey. Because we're on our way back to our true nature. Residing in our hearts, residing in natural energies. And the more we intent ion, simple acts, simply not throwing yourself in the garbage is going to change a lot. Save your nails.
Indeed. We do have some background noise of traffic. I'm not sure who that one is, but just letting you guys know that. Just want to double check here.
That might be
it's just very noisy. That's all. I just wanted to mention that. It looks like Borean's dropped off again, and I'm just looking. There he is. Doesn't have a choice. Some people that show up at the board don't have a choice. Hello, Paul. How are you? Hopefully he's got his mic handy. Just saw an interesting out.
He's just being quiet. Come on, Paul, get on stage.
Hello?
Hey, there you are. How are you?
I was just sitting there fucking smoking a joint. Amazing. What's happening, Kate?
Oh, everything. I was just going to say I had a post regarding Agartha, which others may know it as being Middle Earth. And again, these are the physical effects, depending on which game you're playing, to show you the allegory of how you're going to get home. Right? Me, I had to go through the whole name, legal, sound thing, essay, singer, songwriter. That's my path, okay?
Right.
That's Nibiru coming in for me, allegorically. So Agartha is the hollow earth, as they call it, is, again, if you can see yin and yang folding in and out of each other, that's where I see this. And all Agartha is when you bring the heart home to self, that's your hollow earth, right? So if you see it from that perspective, it's about bringing your own polarities into balance. These are all the same story, just told in infinitely different ways to create such a beautiful allegorical existence that has had us playing a crazy game for a long time. And I'm with Darren and quite a few others. This road's been pretty bumpy, and I'm pretty much done with that. So there you go. But great to have you, Paul.
Yeah, okay. I didn't expect that. Yeah, that's cool, man. Good to, as I say, it's great to be at the table. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of people out there who I've spoke to on Facebook. You know, there's a couple of people out there who know their stuff who I would like to call in. Do you know what I mean? And they know who they are. Do you know what I mean? And they're doing their research, and there's some visual people out there who, do you know what I mean? And like John, you says earlier as well, that was spectacular the way he done the other day there. And then she says, Kate, even got a thank you. Do you know what I mean? At the end, thank you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's a little video that came with it too. I had a chance to watch it, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was. Do you know what I mean? It's good to see people out there doing this stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because it needs to get done. Because this can't keep on going on. Like, cause this is only managed to make money. Well, Marley said it's only managed to make money. These people are only wanting your soul for money purposes. Do you know what I mean? So, you're not getting muscle, like, that's the way I look at it, Kate. Do you know what I mean? And like you say yourself, you know what I mean? Try and save as many people out there as they can, but you need to save yourselves. You just need to do the research. Do you know what I mean? Get into the sticky stuff. Do you know what I mean? I know, but it's a bit heavy at times, but you need to do the research yourself, man. You can't keep on asking other people for it. Do you know what I mean? Coming to Kate, Kate's put her documents out. But you need to, if you want to go and study this stuff, especially like so the Gnostic interpretations, Kate's the creation story. Do you know, I was speaking about that the other day there. That's wild. Do you know what I mean? The allegories between that is like with Samuel again, creating from his mother's waters. Do you know what I mean? Perfect spheres. This is everything you see down here. Like the Gnostic Kabbalistic interpretation would be like as the above is below would be Samuel's trying to copy his father. Do you know what I mean? Because he thought he was God type thing. Do you know what I mean? He's doing here giving it, oh, look at me, I'm great. Saying I'm God basically. And his mum says, oh, you're no God. Like there's somebody higher. And then the boundless one, as he's called, because they say God's limitless. He never created nothing. So there's even our Bibles are saying God didn't create this place. Do you know what I'm saying? Through the Jewish. Because you want to look at it, it all starts through Abraham. Through the Jewish Abrahamic interpretation, even they say, do you know what I mean? God never created this place. It would because to say that God created anything. I've got it right down here. I'll actually read it. Dig this out. Take 2 secs. About the Ein Sof or the Ein Sof. 2 secs. It says here, right, the Ein Sof is boundless. It cannot be comprehended by intelligence nor described as it's everything at once. But the Ein Sof can be the direct creator, for itself has neither will, intention, desire, thought, language, nor action. Right? So as these properties imply that basically God would have limit. If he's created this world, that means he's got limit. He can't create when basically they're saying he's limitless. So he never created this place for him to do such a thing when you clearly hear It says here, he's got no will, intention, desire, thought, language, nor action. So he left it for the triad, or people would say the Yanava, as I explained. They created Kate, do you know what I'm saying? And with the Gnostic interpretation, they say, like, say, Samuel or Saklas, what happened was God had a wife, he made a wife. This is an interpretation, a Kabbalistic interpretation. That God made a wife. She asked to create, do you know what I'm saying? God basically said, I'm a bit busy this just now. This is me trying to put it literal, is what I've interpreted. This is my interpretation of reading it. Nobody else's. Do you know what I mean? Reading this shit. Because it is a lot of it's mine, man. So as I say, is right. Basically, God's asked, his missus is asked to create, and he says, no, just now, do you know what I mean? So she's basically went away and created what he can't see, and she stole his light, like the Egyptians would say with allegories, with, like, say, with Horus and all like that. Do you know what I'm saying? They made, some of that's kind of strange, like, say, Horus, his mother made Set, I think, orgasm on food or something, and he ate it, or her son ate it, made orgasms on food. You know what I'm talking about? There's a lot of sex kind of stuff involved in the Egyptian stuff. So anyway, what the Gnostic Kabbalistics is they're saying that, well, this Shekinah, whatever you want to call her, the Divine Feminine, she's asked to create, and God basically says, no, just now. So she's basically stole his light, went away and created a son. And this son's basically living in a cube, you could call it, in a hypercube. Do you know what I mean? This is a Kabbalistic interpretation of mine, in a cube. So he's created his world, his universe in this cube. Spheres. I mean, you look at a lot of stuff with Samuel. If people go and Google Samuel, I've got a picture of him, and he's holding a perfect sphere. And at the bottom of his feet, there's a serpent, Shekinah, with a crown. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is a Kabbalistic interpretation of this actual drawing. And what that's representing is he creates from his mother's waters. His mother's waters. Do you know, a lot of people out there will start to click onto this, especially studying law. His mother's waters. He creates perfect spheres. So what's happened is he's down here thinking he's God. Do you know what I'm saying? Creating universes and planets and galaxies and doing what he does. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's got a family, he's got kids, do you know what I'm saying? And basically he's living happy. The universe was kind of good. This is the Gnostic interpretation, mate. And he's basically saying, oh, this is great down here, do you know what I mean? I'm God, I'm this and that, apart from my mother, do you know what I mean? And she says, oh, there's somebody else. And he's like, well, wait a minute, there's somebody else. You said there was just me and you, do you know? And he broke his heart type thing reading it, do you know what I mean? And then he got angry, and then God spoke to him, the Ein Sof or whatever spoke. And then he's basically says, well, if you're God and she's God, and I'm for the both of you, well, I'm God, so I'm going to make war on you. Do you know what I mean? And that's basically a kind of Kabbalistic, Gnostic interpretation of things. It's kind of dark, people. And that's your creation story. And then what's happened is God sent down Adam Kadmon to correct everything, and that's how the angels you created you, but we're better than the angels. We're like God. And what happened is we weren't prepared for this universe, basically. And when we came, it's a bit like, see, the Prometheus. You seen anybody seen the Prometheus? The start to that's actually very Gnostic, because you could say Adam Kadmon came to Earth and he wasn't prepared and basically disintegrated. It basically broke into fractals, into tiny pieces. And Shekinah, you've got like the other things, the Sophia. People talk about the Sophia, but that's like an angel who's like friends with Shekinah, you could say. Do you know what I mean? And the Sophia, she's inside us. And what's happened is this archonic, whatever, Samuel, he's decided to put us back together because his mum asked. His mum says, put this Adam back together. But he couldn't get rid of the Sophia. So what he's done is, in the process of remaking Adam Kadmon, which is us, in the process of remaking Adam, he's put his own archons inside us. Do you know what I'm saying? Kind of like the allegories is 7, so there's like 7 angels in us plus the Sophia. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's what it once was, but he's put like 6 archons in us, but there's one hidden archon, so there's 7 to try and corrupt you Do you know, this is all very literal, do you know what I mean? That's why I didn't really like talking about it, because a lot of people will get this, they'll think, what is he talking about? That's just weird. Do you know what I mean?
Well, hey Paul, let me just jump in here.
Bang on.
It is bang on, and this is just a reminder for everyone that Mark Passio is going to be at the table with us tomorrow night. And this is exactly what I want him to touch on because of his own personal upfront experiences within that realm as well. You see, what you're saying, I'll put it in another sort of an allegory. These archonic aspects are the very things that were fused in the chromosomes. That basically it's pure ego, where someone or something has not taken responsibility for their actions, and they basically passed the buck. And humanity was the buck that got passed this bullshit. So this is why it's so important to restructure yourself in truth only to overcome these things. And the interesting part, well, was in Prometheus, the movie. At the very beginning, yes, the DNA was disintegrated the same way that the character Adam Cadman was literally dematerialized and fell into the waters and became part of the whole thing. It's quite an interesting. It's beyond an interesting movie.
Yeah, like you said, see the DNA there, Kate. That's exactly what I thought with the sack glass thing with Samuel putting the archons in us. I mean, you think about that, right? You get people who are very logical. Sometimes I can be quite logical myself. Everybody does it, and they're a bit egotistical about it. You know what I mean? I can do it myself. Everybody can do it, right? But it's that logic. When you think, if you want to think of aliens, a lot of aliens, people say, people who've been in contact, so they say, they've not got no spiritual concept. They can't get the concept of spirituality, that there's something out there. Do you know what I mean? Some of them probably do, but I don't know about that one. But if that's the case, Kate, it's like the total left brain logic. It's like they can't see. You're blinded. You've got horse blinkers on. Do you know what I mean? They're blinded. You're all one side of your brain. That's where the polarization needs to be. Like you were saying with the yin and yang. You need to know your left and know when you're being kind of a bit logical and when you're being a bit spiritual out there. Do you know what I mean? But everybody needs to know their balance and try and keep to that balance. But it's like when you start to look at, like say, all the stuff on the news, that's trying to prey on you. It's like, I've realised this in a space of a couple of weeks, is that I've actually stopped cussing people. See, like, not really cussing people. See, before when you would see like Simon Cowell or somebody on the TV or whatnot, and you'd think, do you know what I mean? You're a dick. But now I'm even doing that because you're giving them, how could I put it? It's like you're cursing them and that's coming back on you. Do you know what I mean? Because everybody knows that the guy is a dick, but you don't actually need to physically say it. You can think it, but when you're actually physically saying, oh, by the way, see him, or do you know what I mean, see Barack Obama or such and such, you're putting too much intent. You're giving them, it's like you're saying your goat, you're giving them your goat. Do you know what I mean? Didn't give them your goat. If you didn't give them your goat, they can't resonate or suck a vampire off you. Because this is a vampire. Look everywhere you go in the world. China, vampires, they've got history of vampires. People look at the history of vampires. It goes back. It's like when you want to go and look at the history of Frankenstein. That's all about a golem, which a Jewish Kabbalist made in Prague. Prague's a very Jewish city, and he made a famous golem in the 18th century, a clay monster. And that's where basically the Frankenstein allegory came from. Do you know what I mean? And then even the cartoons, like I was saying to you, Kate, about Smurfs, the Smurfs. Remember Azrael's the death. That's death. Do you know what I mean? He's a cat, wee wicked. You've got Gargamel, the Kabbalist, who's trying to catch these Smurfs to turn base metal into gold. Do you know what I mean? People who Kabbalists and Smurfs.
Yeah, it goes being funny, and see that's the part of it too. You were talking about logic. The only time I let logic enter the equation is in order to explain an logic.
Yeah.
Because one thing that the ego cannot argue with is logic, and if any ego wants to argue with logic, which is typically an unwillingness to look at both sides of the coin, must be right, has to be right, fights to be right, that's psychopathy. That's the DNA interference. That's where a being is, for me anyway, a being is degraded to the point that they have to fight to be heard instead of simply being heard. And you got to hear that within yourself. The hardest thing for ego to do is, and I've done it, it's not easy, is to decide that everything that you've ever thought you knew in this reality is absolute bullshit on the literal scale. And what I do now is I only trust in the intuitive, and then if it feels right, then I'll look at it from the analytical or logical side in order to explain that feeling, and that's it. So the left brain is completely subservient to the right with me, and that's exactly where Fluffy stays. And
yeah,
I'll
perfect
take her.
balance, Kate. I've noticed in your work there's perfect balance there. Do you know what I mean? There is perfect balance there. Like, look, what does phi mean, Kate? Phi, I mean, is that spirit, isn't it? Spirit.
Well, phi.
Spirit.
Sacred psi is spirit. Phi is the golden mean, which is what all of this physical creation is based on. That's the 9 or the 6, depending on which way you're spinning it. So what we're doing now is finally expanding back out the way the phi ratio is. Just think of the Western Hemisphere and how we've been made to go from right to left, left to right instead of right to left. You look at a lot of the ancient works, everything was written from the right hand, typically from the bottom up, because you want to rise, not fall, and you read it from the right side to the left, which creates a different vortex field. And look at modern society. You start at the top of the page, and you read it from left to right. And when you take it literally left to right, what you've done is you've left behind someone the ability for someone to write for you, right? So it's like, oh, that was left to right. Someone else is going to grab that. And it's in that concept alone where you see the flows that are going from the programmed left brain ego aspect getting forced over top of the right hemisphere. That's Cain slaughtering Abel. So that's the allegory of that whole thing laid out in 3 words, left to right. Sorry, I'm the right to left here. Definitely. I'll create my own creations, and then I plant those roses, the rosés, the spirit breaths of creation, into the cane fields. And you don't have to pull it. It's one of the things that Bill had shared in a video. Don't go around trying to pull the weeds out you already have, because chances are the good things that you've already planted can get uprooted too. Just leave them alone and don't worry. The more roses you plant, those weeds get withered and die anyway. You don't have to do anything. You simply have to be everything.
I love harvesting dandelion.
Prolific little creatures, aren't they?
Hey, you love them, and they will grow lush and so tasty. I've got dandelions that are up to my knee.
Nice.
Yeah, and I tell you, they go smoothly well. Salads, oh yeah. The earth loves you back, I swear.
Amazing that, isn't it?
As it is. As it is. What a state of gratitude. That's all I can hold.
Yeah, I'm just I'm kind of off in my little zone right now, so no bowl yet either. Isn't that funny? But I just want to double check here. I thought I saw Mike on the board. Did I? Yes, I did, Michael. How about you jump in? That would be great.
Yeah, you only do a show every other day.
Yeah, slacker.
Aloha. What's up? I'm here.
I'm glad you said it, Kate. Someone had to.
Michael's far from a slacker. That's why it's funny. Hey, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Michael.
No, all good. I'm just listening, having a bit of a roller coaster here, and looking at some other issues that issues. I don't know want to call them that, but things that come up in my life that many times I'm like, how is this just mine, or how is this related to the all? And that's the beauty of when we remind ourselves is when you share something from the heart. This isn't just going out to the immediate vicinity. This is shared with all. It's the beauty of it. It's not limited by location when you share from your heart. Everyone is it's amping that core field, so to say. But something behind the system, something behind the money, the government, the politics that generally we do not look at, and that's the harmony of the male-female in our simple relationships with ourselves and others. And this is something I'm having a roller coaster with again, that I'm looking at going, what aspect here do we need clearing?
I call those opportunities, Michael.
Yeah, thank you. They are opportunities for clearing, and once again I'm coming to this again, and it's an ego play.
You get to choose you. It's an opportunity that's before you. It's on the table before you.
Right.
It's Psalms 23. Rich little story, that one.
Yeah, thanks, Darren. Thanks for you're like Barbara, man. You guys have this silver lining. It's so beautiful.
You can turn it into an opportunity the moment you hear yourself issue. The problem. Issue.
Right. So I don't have an issue. I don't have a problem. There's an opportunity here for us to clear the way we interact with each other on a very fundamental level, where many of this, what we would call projections of blame that we're still doing, either subconsciously, it's in there. I catch myself doing it. I catch people doing it to me, and I'm like, sometimes it's not even conscious. And sometimes it's just a one-way street. They didn't blame you, but you thought you were getting blamed. There's this element of fear that's still circling around, catching us. And I'm like, I'm going to get your ass.
Evidence that it's an opportunity.
Opportunity for us to clear this, and it's kind of elusive. And I believe I've had my sights on it for a long time, and it's darting in and out, and it's just popped up into my consciousness again as an opportunity to clear it. And
ask yourself what the expectation
well, that expectation, Darren, thank you, is a false one indeed that generally gets blown out of the waters if I'm too attached to it.
Yeah. And then the opportunity becomes what?
Well,
a space for remedy, a space for self-correction. A space to be compassionate and empathetic with the self. Because not only you are observing the thought, the feelings, and the moment, you're on the razor's edge of choosing you or I. Because you is bent. Magnetic electric. The I will hold you in polarity.
Yeah, find your balance. Even in life, he says, what's what we call the end, a butterfly. What we call a caterpillar calls the end, we call a butterfly.
So yeah, on a very fundamental level, what you're sharing with me is this is beautiful. Another aspect where I'm causing a separation, where you're reminding me, Michael, there isn't one there.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. But
isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, it happens, and then you react, and then you're in this drama, and you're like, "What?
Yeah,
that's for bringing me that.
Is this who I am?"
We're kind of special, Michael. Really, we are special. We're divine. We're God's brother, man. God wants a brother, but right now he's not happy with his wife. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's like, the way I look at it, right, you could call it this way, it's a family feud. We're caught up in a family feud. We're like the wee people down here trying to basically get these two people or two beings or whatever you want to call these two energies to basically stop arguing and stop. The way the Kabbalah says, God's looking away from his wife. Do you know what I mean? She's looking the other way too. They're standing back to back. You want them facing each other. And there's too many people hating their sisters as well, mate. Do you know what I mean? You look at it, you know what I mean? My sisters are sharp lass. I know some really, really intelligent women. Do you know what I mean? Who are like, They're not making big, but no, that's about the money, but they didn't get the respect what they're due, do you know what I mean, in their workplace or wherever. Do you know what I mean? Because, it's just that's a woman, do you know what I mean? It's like, no, she's just got as much. It's like when you look at the Islamic, some of that. You know what I mean? It's like, what's that about, man? You can't treat your sister like that. That's your sister, brother. Do you know what I mean?
It's reflected in their world.
Yes,
they've been at war for a very long time because of that imbalance.
But that's because of people in these regions like to keep this imbalance. They want to keep that imbalance in that region. Do you know what I mean? But people need to start seeing the fault. Well, it is, stop paying it attention. Do we know what you're up to? Everybody knows what they're up to. I'm not telling people to stop watching the news or anything. Just when you're watching it, you know what's going on. You know, there's a bigger picture going on here. These people know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, and something else I wanted to make sure got into the awareness. For anyone paying attention, there were 3 earthquakes on Easter Island on Easter Sunday. Isn't that? Yeah, so that one is sent out, for everybody, but just for D to eat in one of the emails he sent me. Just here, let me just share this. It's about a video. About 5 minutes in, this guy says that simultaneous to 3 temples being planned, the Rock of Dome is dissolving and may come down during a Ramadante Inferno. What a blessing it will be for us all. Let etheric frozen air spacer in between dissolves from all dimensional and directional separates into one living, neutral, bridging field. Absolutely. And the clues are all around us. It's whether or not we're paying attention to them, and if we're paying attention to them in an etheric sense versus the constant literal. So anytime I see regarding, storms or earthquakes or whatever the case may be, I see that merely as the effect of spirit on the physical reality. Those that truly know who they are need have no fear whatsoever. I don't care where you are on this planet, and I don't care what comes down to, I'm talking whatever experience it's going to be or is. I don't particularly care if this planet gets nailed with asteroids or whatever, because regardless of where I'm standing on this planet, nothing will touch me. And that's the same that applies to you. This is how important it is to break that spiritual contract. Once you've broken it, you're an untouchable. And all fear leaves. You have no time for it. You're immortal. Get over it. You're God. Come on. Be a part of the game, will you?
Exactly. Exactly. So much true. It's so true, Cleet. It really is. It is so true. You create your own. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything. You can create angels and everything. Like when you start to read their stuff, they even tell you you're special. Then they let them kids. It's like when you watch these Superman movies and all of this, and you think, and then that's our type. That's who you call a Hollywood golem. They'll put that out there, and people will go, that's great, kids, and that, and they'll make, you know what I mean? It's like the golden calf golems was what you could call them, the Jewish would call them, do you know what I mean? And they'll put these out, and people will go, that's great. It's like, you know what I mean? Where's your preachers? Where's your modern day preachers? Religion's dead. It's a dying. People are seeing through these falsehoods, but people know there's something spiritual. So where's your so-called spiritual beings? We need more spiritual beings out there who like Savan, man. Guy Savan, he's Jews. That guy knows his stuff. Do you know what I mean? Especially when it's coming down to hypercubes and stuff. A lot of the science today with the mathematical. You start to look at the geometry of things. It's something that's kind
I know
of
where the spiritual beings are.
Yeah, Darren. It's like yourself. Yeah.
No, I know where they are.
Yeah, you're toning me.
People drive by them every day.
Tone.
People drive by them on the streets and walk by them on the streets and side of the road, and every opportunity we have a chance to share and we pass up. No, you just walked by a spiritual being because that moment was for you to choose to give. That's where your spiritual beings are, and the ones that receive your love, they. You want to find spiritual beings? You want a guru? Better chew on some more fear.
Be your own guru.
Yeah, forget the guru. Step out of the limits of the definition.
Exactly. That's polarizing yourself, isn't it? That's saying, I want to be that. I want to be that.
Well,
infinite.
Yeah.
All.
Listen to the phonics in it, guys. We glaze over this stuff so quick all the time. What is goo? Something that's really, really sticky. What is roux? Well, it's a paste you make with oil, water, and flour to thicken soups and stews. It's another thickener. So what exactly is a guru anyway?
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly, Kate. I mean, let's start breaking these words down.
Really? It's just a coincidence in the phonics? Not at all. This is why when you start seeing this, Cosmic Joke presents itself.
Yeah. Like phi uses the golden mean, right? This is what penta 5, right? Penta 5, that would mean phi, golden mean, nth, spirit mind, A, Aleph, that means all.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? See, that would be the golden
5A.
mean, spirit mind of all. Do you know what I mean?
5 is 5A, which is, there's your golden mean again with truth. 5 verily, 5A, fiver, right?
Exactly.
Well, thank you for that, because I work with the pentagon. It dispels all pentagrams. I really needed to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah, Adam Cadman, mate. That's the upstanding man, but these people are using these symbols and symbology since, look at Babel, read your Babel. You know what I mean? The Tower of Babel. These people have been using these symbols for many a year, and people, you're ignorant to them. You see them every day. Every single day you'll walk past these symbols and you'll not think nothing of them. Like Xbox. Xbox, do you know what I mean? There's a computer reference, do you know what I mean, to the cubicle box. Do you know what I mean? There's that many stuff.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Now, I'm just going to jump in here because Colleen is way too polite to jump in. So, Colleen, pop in for a sec. We got 25 minutes left until I roll out of here. I'll do a little thank you right now to Paul G and the crew at criticalmassradio.co.uk. Actually was texting back and forth with Rob Friedman from CMR as well, so I'm hoping that he's going to make his presence shown and known at the table. And just another awesome entity making a big change in the universe. Love when people get it. It's just beautiful. Anyway, so just a great big thank you to everyone that's playing their part, doing their thing. Everything is equally important. Ninja, everybody, all of you guys, even Amy talking about, I would say even, but just, it was so funny, when she was talking about giving clothes to charity, whatever, she would put in Kate of Gaia, the website address, in every, in pockets and in every piece of clothing she was donating. I thought that was such a brilliant idea. Awesome. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. And for those that want to chime in for the last few minutes, you can call in at 661-467-2401. And, of course, anyone that's want help at criticalmassradio.co.uk, you're only helping yourself. So definitely the website's there. And for those that, like myself that don't have bank accounts, maybe contact Paul through the site if you want to help out in any means there. And I'm not just talking financial. There's things that you feel may be helpful to promotion of our table and everything that we talk about here. Make yourselves known. We do this together, right? So on that note, I got Colleen, you're in first, and I've got 3, 2, 1 blast off as well. So Colleen, go ahead, hon.
Well, I was just hanging back and listening to all the love and all the sharing, and what Rumi says, silence is the language of God, all else is poor translation. So I was just sitting back to see if there'd be an opportunity of something that I may contribute to the table. And interesting, about 5 minutes before Mike came on, I pulled the 14 card, and you just mentioned the storm, Kate, and the name of the 14 card is the Eye of the Storm. And Mike was talking about the emotions, I guess you would call it, with him and his significant other. And so this is all about emotional collection, finding your center, and developing the witness, the eye of the storm. When you learn to use emotion as information, you no longer panic in response to strong feelings. The tendency to suppress uncomfortable emotions leads to whirlwinds of uncontrollable expression later. Rather than float above the storm or ignore it altogether, leap into the center and discover its origins. The sky is clear in the eye of the hurricane. Calming the whirlwind involves drawing attention back to the core messages underneath the judgments. And I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Colleen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was lucky.
Thank you.
With my mind sign, I came in here as a duality storm, so that major clues to. Yeah, it's amazing, and of course, life path is 5, which is 14.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yes.
Yeah. It's funny how we all connect like this, isn't it? Just coincidence, though. Look away. Get back to the literal. I think Alex Jones is on later. You are the resistance to fear porn. Yes, we are, Alex. Love you. Uh-huh.
I always love the ammunition he gives me to focus my love on.
Oh, exactly. Well, that's it. They're unveiling all of these crazy literal things, and we just them immediately upon sight. You know, it's basically killed on contact. Just look at it, blown off.
You know how crazy I think they are sometimes, Kate? I'm like, they haven't called me. My name's in the phone book. I'm not afraid. Here I am.
Yeah.
You know why they haven't called me? Because they're not the ones making decisions for the rest of humanity. Not anymore.
No way.
It's game over. Hey, is it Lori? Lori, are you on 321?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, blue, green, sure. Lori, wind.
There
wind here, life path 5.
Hi, Lori.
Libra, Capricorn, climbing. Scorpio, blue, green, MC.
Nice.
North Node in Cancer, full moon in Aries. Okay, here we go.
There's a get her done game piece.
I know.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, on that piece of paper with no power, I want everybody to remember what George W. Bush Jr. said in regards to the Constitution when he said, "Quit throwing that goddamn piece of paper in my face." Okay? Because he told us. He told us, right? Okay, and the E in we do it one at a time, together, in a twinkling of an eye, right? And there's things that bother me about these literalists in the Bible that needs definite clearing up. And Kate, you're so beautiful with all the allegories. And it's when they talk about Jesus in the temple with regards to the usury and the turning of the tables and the whipping up of cords. Now, if one more person tells me that Jesus took a literal whip of cords, I mean, I am going to blow a gasket, because they're talking about his voice, his vocal cords. Can we get this to go viral so that people can get that allegory instead of taking it literal?
Already done.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, it's already done.
Jesus was a Kabbalist. There's a lot of Jesus drew certain words when he went into certain towns. Drew like an aleph, a tav. Do you know what I mean? A gimel. Certain words when he went into certain towns. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of stories about Jesus being like when he was a kid, because Jewish people they're not allowed to make any images. And when he was a kid, he made two clay doves. And some Jewish man came down and was basically shouting at him, "What are you doing? You're not meant to make any effigies." Do you know what I mean? And he says, "I'm going to go and get your father," type thing, and goes away and comes back. And Jesus, basically, because he's a Kabbalist, he makes things from clay. when you go and look at Nebuchadnezzar, the last of his prophecies, when they talk about the gold, this man, the last defeat would be made of clay. Do you know what I'm saying? It's clay. He's nearly like into golems. Lord of the Rings again, but it's actually no. Tolkien was trying to tell you some stuff. Do you know what I mean? But when you start to look at it, it's.
What's this with the vocal cords? Could you share that again?
In other words, when you get around these churchgoers, they're always saying how Jesus whipped up a whip of cords. In other words, they literally think they're taking it literal because they don't get the allegory that even if Jesus was a person, and we all are Jesus with our Christhood from the dictionary, the state or fact of being the Christ, Jesus is alive and well and dwells in me. I didn't really comprehend it until I watched Santos's Your Body is the Holy Land, and then I understand the alchemical process within in your physiology, what takes place, but now I know. Oh, I got my Christhood on at the triune brain, the Godhead. Go look that up in the dictionary, too. It's all there. All you have to do is follow the synchronicities. But Jesus whipped up the cords, the vocal cords, the voice. Speak up. No, I will not sit down and be quiet. No, you will not put baby in a corner. Right? And there's something.
That's all you got to do.
That's class.
There's something beautiful. Is Carlene still on? Because there's something beautiful I wanted to share with her, and I couldn't. Being a Libra, I like everything to balance, right? And I couldn't understand how. And I knew I was an enabler all my life. I've been enabling the morons because they don't get the lessons. Meanwhile, I was doing it to myself by enabling them. And I didn't see how I was contributing to the unbalance, how I was contributing to the unbalancing of it, and how I was doing it to myself, right? But these words made me realize what I was doing and how I was contributing to the chaos, to the unbalance. And I know that Colleen is such a beautiful, sensitive soul, and I wanted to share this with her. Is she still there?
Yeah. Hi, Laurie. I'm here.
Hi, Colleen. It's called The Power of Giving and the Law of Creation. There is only one law of creation, and that is service to creation, and you must realize that you are also a part of creation. When you're giving to others, you also have to make sure you are not taking from yourself. If you are serving others at the expense of yourself, then you are not serving creation. You are simply depleting yourself in order to serve others, and so you are out of balance. And it goes the other way as well. If you are serving yourself at the expense of others, then you are also out of balance. You're not giving to creation. You are as valuable as everybody else. You are as valuable as everyone around you, and so you need to give to yourself as much as you give to others. You need to make sure that things are kept in balance. Follow your path of Dharma. Always make sure you are doing the right thing in the right way at the right time for the right reason. That's the way it works. Ask if it's right, if it's in service to creation. Follow these simple rules and you will find that your life simply unfolds before you and everything just falls into place exactly the way it is supposed to. Follow the synchronicity and your life will become of synchronistic events. And that was Max Egan about 2 years ago. And when he said, if you were serving others at the expense of yourself, then you're not serving creation. And I thought, oh my God, that's what I have been doing. Throwing my own self under the bus by enabling the morons.
You are so spot on here. Thank you so much. This is kind of the heart of the matter I was sharing, how we You brought it right back to self. So beautiful. You're enabling the others, but where am I? You put it on you. How am I doing this?
Right. I mean, when he said that, I was watching it on YouTube, so I was able to pause it, go back, because it just hit me. I was like, oh, that's what you've been doing. Because you're not getting the lessons, and you keep enabling them to have a good time while you're the one sweeping, mopping. I mean, I've been cleaning up the planet since I got here. I'm so tired.
Yep.
Well,
and I can't stand chaos.
You're out there, and you're as you call it, sweeping things up, and you're kind of, it sounds like, wanting to tend other people's gardens, possibly. And
yes, I want to preserve all of creation. I feel like I'm a steward of creation, a guardian of all creation.
Of the whole earth. Of the whole earth.
Exactly, of all the universe. And so I can't help myself. But it's like I had to stop because they don't get the lessons. They won't learn. They have to live and learn and grow on their own.
And so you came to that place that it's not your job to make them get it. It's
right,
your
because
job,
otherwise they'll never get the lesson.
It's your job and each one of our jobs to get it ourselves.
Right.
Exactly.
And
it's got to come back to source.
All else will fall in place. And as you said about, giving and taking care of yourself, it has to be in balance. And that is exactly what happens. Synchronicities after synchronicities. You just flow in the love and everything falls in place. It's not that you're not doing, not being or contributing to uplifting the world. In fact, it's the exact opposite, because when each one of us is in balance, that is the greatest gift that you can give to the world.
That's right. And that's why you don't want to create the separation within the self.
And another reason why you don't want to have a kuru. Remember we talked about the G, flipping it out and putting the spirit back in the hex? Right? Take the hex out, put the spirit back with a K. Well, it's interesting that, thanks, Sarah. What a great little post. Kuru, Kuru. Again, same pronunciation, right? Which is, get this, a chronic, progressive, fatal central nervous system disease found mainly among the 4 and neighboring peoples of New Guinea. Jin of Ia, the one, remember, caused by a prion. You can't make this shit up. Caused by a prion that probably resembles this streak of sheep transmissible. All right, if you guys are gonna. Okay, sorry, Darren took a call there. Let me just get back to this. Sorry, Mike, I was just going down the list of Skype calls to see who would likely have had a call there. But let's just finish this off. This is so funny. Anyway, it's caused by a prion that probably resembles the scrapey agent of sheep, transmissible to non-human primates, and believed to be transmuted by ritual cannibalism.
Isn't a prion like a virus?
Well, a prion. I'm also thinking of the like the priory. The prion, what is a priory, a rectory, something to, it's all church and everything. But listen, look at the words in this. Chronic, progressive, fatal central nervous system, dis-ease. Okay, so that's what a kuru is going to do to you. Found mainly among the 4 and neighboring peoples of New, as in to remember, Jin-ia, New Guinea. The Jin, of course, the evil aspect, caused by a prion that probably resembles the scrapey agent of sheep. Oh, I don't know. Sounds like people. Transmissible to non-human primates. Legal name means you're
a parasite.
You're not human, and well, we all know what a primate is, and believed to be transmitted by ritual cannibalism. So that's what you get for feeding on each other spiritually. Remember, this is a physical effect being shown as a result of a spiritual cause. So that's what we're doing. And I've said that so long, that cannibalism in the spiritual is done through the legal name. So if you don't want to be fed on and get more diseased, then just get the concepts, guys. You don't got to do a thing. You don't have to do anything. You just simply need to be or not to be. Put those eggs in your omelet, Hamlet.
The word whole means heal. Heal or heal thyself.
Hi, Ron.
Sorry about that, guys. Darren was off.
But
off
thank
his
you
call
for
there.
sharing that. Thank you for sharing that, Lori.
This is why it's the word wholeness is coming into use. We're just using it more and more because as Kate's broken down the word peace, even though it's been neutralized, the charge has been taken out of it in terms of a separation, it's just that it still doesn't explain all of what we're saying when we mean peace. Wholeness is really coming into being. There's no separation in wholeness. You can't even fake that one.
Wholeness is coming into being, or is wholeness
being?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
It's not becoming.
Now, also keep in mind, guys, keep the mirror balanced. When you're speaking of wholeness, switch to the left and the right.
Yeah.
Awareness. That's what wholeness translates into when you take the whore aspect out of it. It's still got the same letters if you want, but let's flip the W out for the O, and let's flip the L out for the right hemisphere. Remember, everything's backwards here, so just transmute everything into neutral. And now, what are we talking about? Everything, you're absolutely right, Michael, and I'm going to show you in the mirror of awareness. That's what wholeness translates to in the mirror. That's the right, the left into the right. So, does that work phonetically? I think so. Awareness.
So wouldn't that would be in the now? It would be becoming, because becoming, you're not present in the now.
Exactly.
Hey, Kate, on that left and right hemisphere, I had an aha moment the other day. A lot of times I do different exercises to stimulate the neurons and, all the neuroblasts and everything in the brain. And so I'll kind of go up the stairs backwards and kind of sideways and challenge myself that way and brush my teeth with my left hand. And I was thinking, someone was saying, and you've said it many times, how people will see the name Kate, and then they hear you on the show, and it's like their brain doesn't compute, right? It's like, well, wait, I'm hearing a female voice. I mean, I'm seeing a female name, but I'm hearing more of a male voice.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
fake.
that's stimulating the neurons and everything for all of us in our brains and rewiring that, to really, how would I say it? You know what I mean? It's like it's a challenge.
Yeah,
but
it's like to see past that paradigm.
Yeah.
What you're saying, Colleen, see past the paradigm and just the truth. You don't.
It's at a basic level.
The balancing.
Down the main paradigm, Colleen. Oh, beautiful. You know how we talk about the name game here and not being attached to the name. But what you're just sharing is when people come into the show, it's happened to pretty much all of us, and we Kate share her voice for the first time. We're like,
Mike.
So it's only flipped the game.
Michael, hang on.
Don't associate the name.
Michael,
Mike.
hold on. We got like under 3 minutes left here. If you guys are interested, I'll ask Michael if you want to continue on here. I am going to sign out in 3 minutes. But if you want to carry on here, I can leave the board open for Michael, and you have access to the board for opening mics and whatever. If you want to continue on, and if not, we roll out of here in 2.5 minutes. Anyway, if you do decide to want to carry through, helm this, because like I said, I need just to be right now. You can call in at 661-467-2730. 2401, and of course Skype in BTR listener 056. So that's up to you, Michael. I can leave the board open and let this continue on for as long as it goes, and I'm good. So up to you guys. Mark Passio,
I won't be much
night.
longer, but maybe a little bit longer.
Oh, that's fine. Michael, you in or what?
Yeah.
Well,
get up
thank you,
really
Michael,
early.
that I get an opportunity to tell a young lady that's a Libra. Hi, everybody.
Okay.
But let Michael finish your thought.
Let's sort this out first before we do this.
I'm getting on the board. I heard Barbara.
Yes, Barbara.
All right.
I didn't say it too.
Yes.
Okay,
that's my girl with the music.
Okay. Do I have to mute everybody?
Little sister, go on and play. Go. You don't have to play with us, little sister. You can go on and leave us at your house. We won't eat up everything.
Guys, I need to talk to Michael, please. Michael, do you have the board?
In a moment, Kate.
Okay. When you get the board open, I'm going to roll out of here. Much love to everybody, but when you get the board open, you can end the episode when you feel like it. Fair enough?
Okay.
Well, go as long as you want, because I know there's a shit pile of energy here. Like I said, I just need to go and center myself and be a selfish little take care of myself for, an hour or so. Okay? So I'll leave you guys to it, and much love.
Okay.
Don't forget, tomorrow night, Mark Passio, and we're going to have some fun. All right? So, Michael,
yeah.
The helm is board. Play.
Ciao.
Aloha, Kate. So I was sharing, I got to get on the board still.
Aloha, Kate.
But just
that
to finish
song she played yesterday was beautiful.
Just to finish my thought, there, Colleen, was how on a fundamental level we would think that that's not a big thing, just how Kate in the name and the voice. But it is. It's rewiring, like you were saying. It's just funny, eh?
It really is.
Level, how world-changing that is. Just that alone.
I had a car follow me home today from work, and I was taking some really weird back roads, and it kept following me, right? So I pulled over to the side, and it kind of slowed down, and I thought it was an undercover cop or something. But it drove by, and it had a bumper sticker, and it said Aloha. And I thought you might. I thought, hey, that's Michael right there.
Yeah. How we're all so connected.
Yep, saw you. So I saw the table, and I was like, oh, I'm going to come by tonight. But I just want to say, sometimes, I don't really, I'm very shy, and you guys, I've been on this show,
Me too.
for me, for about maybe, I guess, over half a year, but listening to Santo and Kate for over a year. You don't know much about my personal life, who I am, who Brandon Young is, and stuff like that. But let's just say that seeds are being planted, definitely, in pretty interesting places. So with that being said, I'll just leave it at that. Yes, and I think that's all of our jobs is just to plant seeds every day.
Is that my Skull Babylon?
Babylon?
Is that Brandon from Skull Babylon on YouTube?
Skull Babylon? No,
that's Brandon Young.
No, that's a different one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is Brandon Young. This is Robert Young's nephew, a great niece of Loretta Young. He in that Young family from the O. You better check your roots, Young, Brandon.
Well, I know my we're very.
That's my last name as well. I'm Young as well.
Really?
Ooh,
yeah.
That's right.
Paul. My line comes from it's kind of got this Celtic, Irish line. Yeah, it's Scotland. Yeah, yeah. They have a Young's beer and all that.
No, actually, my clan in Scotland is the McNabs. I'm from the clan McNabs. Yeah, but that's like family thing. Nothing to do with what goes on in America with that clan. Like they're just assholes.
In Scotland, the Belhavens in Scotland are much better than the ones over in the United States.
Exactly. Well, I've heard some of the United States people who say they're from Scotland, and they're like, "You're not from Scotland, mate. You're racist and just a big twat." Do you know what I mean?
A twat.
Well, there's a of us here.
A twat.
You know.
A twat.
What? You know, that's the old Anglo-Saxon. But yeah, we're still here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Michael stays in Hawaii. Michael, what do you know about the Polynesian history of Hawaii? So I find that interesting.
Oh, man, I've been waiting to share this.
Yeah, Michael, that's interesting stuff, brother.
I'll give you 2 books. One, I've been talking about it since I've shared on the show. It's called Bowl of Light by Hank Vesselman. It's about Hale Makua. And, well, let's just say it's one of the... I'm blessed to be able to have read that book. And when you read the book, you realize the sharing that is being there is beyond the pages of the words. It becomes real life again, that you connect to this being. You connect to, there's no, he didn't so-called die in 10 years ago, just like the man is. If any of you guys have heard Is, you might know him from the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Is, yeah.
So he crossed on to the other side, so-called other side, a while back. But both these guys knew from their, their being and their Polynesian ancestry, the knowledge that was shared with them. It's just so beautiful, man.
Yeah, I've always found that interesting, Michael.
They talk about that there's no separation. That they even shared flat out about this. So this is nothing new. It might have gotten lost in the sharing, so to say, but in everyone's heart, and it's right in the opening of this book. The opening quote is, "We are gods playing not being gods."
Right.
It's from the to me he was the Hawaiian elder. And he,
I
What's
know
the name of it, Mike?
A Bowl of Light.
Michael, what do you think is the connection between the Hawaiian and the Maoris as well?
So they got
Australia and New Zealand. There's a lot of connection there, isn't there? The Polynesian connection.
Back. This guy's got the chant, and he shared it. Well, he has the knowledge. His chant goes back. It traces his lineage.
Because that's quite a distance to travel, Michael. Do you know what I mean?
It went back
for Australia. Do you know what I mean?
12,000 years. He could trace back his line, where he came from. And where they tell you is where they come from. They come from the stars.
Yes.
The first beings were the whales and dolphins. They were our guardians. They came first to check it out. And some of those guys still recognize that's who they are. They came in a canoe through the stars before they came in a canoe across the ocean.
You know it's the leak.
So they're tracing...
The Kahuna Elder, the Hale Makua. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. And synchronicities I've studied with Hank Vesselman.
There you go. So Hank Vesselman is...
Shamanic studies, yeah.
That's his brother. That's his...
Yes.
So, and what these guys just shared out, it's all talked about at the table.
Yep.
I can call the dolphins and they come to me.
And so if you wanted to get a little bit more knowledge just about really where this, it goes beyond words again, but there's so much that was shared there that you would think, how does this culture way out here, not even I don't want to call it culture, how did this group of beings way out here in the middle of the Pacific, so-called, way out here, but in the middle of the Pacific, develop this knowledge, have this way with the stars and all of this? And when you go back into, they'll tell you quite clearly how they got it. And this, we're not talking, when we look at past civilizations or even like primitive was the word civilizations, what a freaking joke. it was again to separate us and dumb down us in terms of
all of it.
Yeah. So let's bring it back. Let's bring it on home. And what do they share? Well, it's just aloha. This is why I say it. Aloha. There's much in that. This isn't namaste. I lived in India 15 years, off and on, man. My home, besides here. If you ask me, Mike, where's your home? Where are you going to go? I'm in the Himalayas.
Can you mute Barbara? I think that's...
Yeah, it's okay. She wants...
There she is. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you in, Barbara?
Yes, I'm right here.
Okay.
So this beauty, and this goes beyond. They... On a certain level, and this is what I'm getting at, there's no separation between the spiritual world. This, as Kate has clearly said, this is a shadow of it in one way. Of it. We're not, the spiritual world ain't some other place you only go in your dreams or when you get out of this planet. The spiritual world, you're walking in it every day, eyes open.
And Savon's bringing it together, with the ocean and how he was saying about the...
Yep, that
it's really about honoring and cherishing. Many of us have said this before too. It's the ancestral energies. Really cherishing that.
This is coming clearer and clearer.
Yes.
And it's not and this is what Holly McCool was talking about. His whole thing was the energy was ancestral. And I was just, what do they mean by this? What is he meaning by this? And what he was truly meaning was this. This wasn't ancestral in terms of a certain tribe or group of people or race. This was ancestral in terms of all. This energy that we're in.
We are ethereal beings with a physical extension.
Mm-hmm. And so that he.
Excuse me, Michael. Wait, just a second. What's your name? This woman.
That's Blue Green Lori.
Lori, man, you're so spot on. A couple of things you said tonight, you've been, it's been so
I've been
spot on.
I've been at it all my life.
It's been so spot
But
on.
she's Libra. She explained to us that she was Libra, so that makes her Mayat. When you think of Libra, you immediately think of Mayat. And when you think of Mayat, you think of the beautiful wings that's on her and her being the sun in the middle. And that's immediately when you think of that scale. So everything that she expressed about what she did, she's destined to do because of the way that she's represented in the stars.
Yeah, but you have to see over your stars, control over your stars. He who can master his stars.
Yeah.
Right, that's the reality that you come to now. But all your life you've been doing your work that you were destined to do. And it's now
I've been doing the great work.
You've come. There you go. And everybody
right.
appreciates it. I know some of the biggest light that I ever saw was brought to me by a Libra. I mean, when pain and suffering I thought had overwhelmed me, I had a Libra, a female cousin, and she gave me the answers immediately, and I have been able to coast through life ever since then, when I thought at that time that it was just insane. I couldn't go any further, but that Libra had the message that was needed.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Balance of the Libra, yes. And Laurie was even talking about how she knew she wasn't in balance, right, Laurie? And so,
well, I thought I was in balance, but I knew I was an enabler. That I was enabling people. Everybody's having a good time, and it's great to have a good time, and I love to have a good time. I mean, I can't wait to get the party started here. Okay, and I like to see Shirley Bassey sing that song. I'm coming out. Let's get the party started at 72 years old. Go watch Shirley Bassey. Yeah, go watch Shirley Bassey do that song, not Pink. Go watch Shirley Bassey do it at 72 years old. And my song of this week is Stevie Wonder, You Haven't Done Nothing. And I want everybody to go watch Tina Arena, her song, In Command. There's only one upload of it live in 1998 on YouTube. Tina Arena, R-E-N-A, In Command. And she's telling you, and she knows, and I just blare it throughout the whole house. It's not music. Music
Will
is it.
do.
It's all
I
in
will
the music
follow
with me.
instructions. I will follow instructions. Thank you.
Oh, Barbara, you're going to have a good time. You haven't done nothing. That's right. You
My
can see me in the bird.
The song this week for me I posted was, do you remember Tighten It, Tighten Up? Barbara, do you remember that?
Yes.
Archie Bell and the Durrells, Tighten It Up Now.
Yes, and go watch Shirley Jones.
Yeah.
What's her name? Jones and the Dap Kings. They did the background music for Amy Winehouse. Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings. Just put in Sharon Beverly. Wait a minute. Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, and you put in Prince, and she's got a song. When I Come Home, and wait a minute, she's doing all the Tighten Up, she's doing the Pony, she's doing all the songs, and I could watch Sharon go all night long. I found her watching a movie, and she did a remake, the best remake, and actually the best song that I've ever heard it redone, of Arthur Guthrie's This Land Is Our Land. Go listen to Sharon Jones, honey. Put some soul in that song. And if it ain't got no heart and it ain't got no soul, don't play with it.
And that's Woody's song. Harlow.
Woody and Pete Seeger also played a lot. You mean she has more soul than Bruce Springsteen singing that?
Oh, God, yes, honey. Go listen to go listen to Sharon Jones.
Bruce.
I love
Sharon.
her.
Yeah, I know people's names there actually.
This Land Is Your Land. And then she also, they have another one, What If We All Quit Paying Taxes?
Oh,
yeah. She's on it.
Uh-huh.
Listen to you, Libra. That Libra that I was talking about her name was Sharon. That Libra this is unbelievable. That Libra that gave me that knowledge then was named Sharon. And here you are.
Barbara's going to have a good time watching Sharon. You are going to have so much fun watching Sharon on that one.
Hey, if you guys want to dance in the morning, and please, if someone, I want to write down those songs, those tunes you said, the Google one. Stevie Wonder.
You Haven't Done Nothing.
Stevie Wonder, You Haven't Done Nothing. What was it?
He also had one that's good called Big Brother. These are all back from the 70s.
One I love? I love his one when he was really young, and when it was still little Stevie Wonder. And Fingertip. I got it.
Goodbye. Fingertip.
I got quite a few of his I'm going to be sharing on the show. Not the show, the Heart Transmissions from the Core, with the Core, with Gaia Supply Dreaming. 4 a.m. HD, Hawaii Dream Time. So we're going to be there in about a little less than 13 hours.
What's the name of your show again, Mike? Is it Blog Talk Radio?
Yep, Gaia Sophia Dreaming.
Yeah, it's beautiful in the morning, and everybody's birds in the background, and it's just beautiful. And then Mike plays some really great music and really beautiful sharing.
Oh, yeah, Tina Arena, In Command. Do that one.
Tina Arena.
In Command. And she also did, her main song that was big over here in the United States was Chains. And she's redone it recently, and there's a good one, and she's singing, and she's telling you, I'm not in chains no more. Chains, audience with Tina Arena, and the upload is Mascot 100.
The other one you said was the one by Shirley...
Shirley Jones and the Dap Kings.
No, what was the other one?
Talking...
One that...
Sharon.
Shirley Macy.
Sharon?
Yeah, Shirley Macy.
No, Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, who did the music, the background music for Amy Winehouse, was Sharon's band, the Dap Kings. Anyhow, she does This Land Is Your Land, and she does What If We All Stop Paying Taxes, but she's got like a 12-minute video where she's opening up for Prince, and she does, if you just type in Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings and Prince, it'll come up. And she's on stage dancing, and she's doing all the old dances from the 50s and the 60s, the ponies, the jerk, tighten up. All of them. I mean, she just goes one, and then Prince comes on stage and steals the thunder a little bit, which kind of annoyed me because I was having so much fun watching Sharon.
So who is the other one? You said she's 80 now? Or about 70?
Oh, Shirley Bassey.
Yeah.
Dame Bassey, honey. Nobody does it like Shirley.
See, that's the one I want to play.
I'll get the party started.
Sister, her name is Sister Rosetta Thorpe. THWPE.
Good talk,
Sister Rosetta Thorpe.
Rossetti?
She's like
Thorpe?
80-year-old woman and a black woman, and she plays a Gibson. She plays it. She rocks a Gibson SG.
Wow.
I mean, like you wouldn't believe it. And she toured with like Chuck Berry and all that. Sister Rosetta Thorpe. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Rosetta, what's her last name?
Thorpe.
Sister Rosetta Thorpe.
THORPE. THORPE.
Got
I think
it.
it's an A. It might be O. I don't know. I think it
Everybody
might be A.
check out Alan Stone.
Everybody
know who Alan Stone is?
No.
Oh my
Alan
God!
Stone?
Go check out Alan Stone. Oh my God!
Another
He's up
one
and
when
coming,
Mike
honey.
comes on, I always think of this person, and I think of Barbara, Nina Simone, Feeling Good.
I love Nina.
Oh yeah.
You hear that in the morning? Yes, Feeling Good. Did you hear that, Mike?
Nina Simone.
Yeah, Nina Simone, Feeling Good. That's a beautiful one.
Sixto Rodriguez.
Morning.
Have you heard of Sixto Rodriguez?
What is it, Paul?
Have you heard of Sixto Rodriguez?
No.
You never heard of Sixto Rodriguez? Sugar Man.
No.
You've never heard of Google Sugar Man. What story? What story?
Sugar Man?
You've never heard of Sixto Rodriguez. Anybody out there, take a wee look at Sixto, the man. It's kind of cool what happened in his life, like, and his music's brilliant. This is not a Sugar Man. Sugar Man's one of them, and another track is this is not a song but an outburst.
Oh, cool.
Honestly, wait to hear that, mate. You'll love it.
So we're talking to all this music. Let's bring it on the spiritual level of what this is to me in terms of this is some timeless stuff we're sharing. This is the nature of so much music that is been played and shared all in this beautiful being we live with. And
one verse.
Yes, exactly. And it was in the earlier on the Emerald
Mike,
Table.
please add Roberta Flack. You got to add these two by Roberta Flack.
Oh my! You set me on a
Lee.
tangent that night, Barbara.
Who has
Here you go, Reverend Lee, Mike, Reverend Lee, and then she got one. She said, "Man, I can understand why it might be kind of hard for you to love a girl like me. I don't know what's happening to me now, but do what you got to do. Come on back and see me when you can." I think that's the name of it. Come on back and see me when you can. Roberta Flack. Yeah, it is a sight. It's something to hear, Mike. You'll enjoy it, especially that Reverend Lee. That Reverend Lee, he about to lose his mind. But she does it very well. You'll enjoy it.
See, there's
Reverend Lee and
there's a few
Roberta
things I got to do, Barbara. I'm not that so-called technically adept at finding stuff on the internet, downloading it, and doing all that. It's just I don't really have practice with it. But I do, if someone wants to send any of this to me in MP3 format, and I'll definitely load it to the board and put it on there and play. And another one I want to add was something in the lines with what we're sharing here. Anyway, I'll come to me in a minute.
The specials.
Yes, I have a
anybody
classic
listen to two-tone? Ska music.
So I love this.
You know what I'm talking about? Ska music, two-tone.
So
the special. Ska, yeah, ska music. Two-tone.
There's all these different genres of music. Well, I don't know what
genres.
Music to me that just resonates with my heart. And there's so many different styles, if you want to call it, that people have played and shared. And so I'm not so technical savvy to put it on. I can upload it if someone sends it to me. I got lots and lots and lots myself that I got to start doing this, bringing it out. She's requesting it of me, and I want to have access to play it. She's like, it's there. You just haven't put it on there, so get it up there. And the other thing was Barbara, this friend of mine here, she was like, she doesn't have a phone. She doesn't have a computer. And she's like, well, Mike, I want to listen to the show. How do I do it? And she's tuned anyways, and this is what we're sharing. Everyone's hearing it. This is heart transmissions, people. Yeah. You don't need a computer to hear this. Woo. Nature doesn't use the internet to share with and talk with you and be intimate with you. And so,
that's right.
But she did say if you record it, and I remember Barbara you saying, oh, Mike, I'm going to record it and send it to you. Well, if you do it, a friend of mine would love it. But anyways, that's the thing. I know there is that machine you can do. You can take you can burn it to a CD, and then you can take a CD and burn it to an old tape. Can you still do that? I don't mean it.
Yeah, you can. Audacity can do that, yeah.
So anyhow, but and then it's that we're so close now.
It's on this way, Mike. It's on this way. Somebody is going to do that and send you all this music we talked about. We got some young blood who do it for a habit, just like we take a toothpick. It ain't nothing but, you ain't said nothing but act. Just by asking, you shall receive. Watch.
So this flow of the sound from the core, this dance that that let's get the party started. Well, I'm reminded they're already dancing, man. It's happening already. And, well, soon we'll all be seeing each other quite clear and hearing each other's clear. There won't be that, again, remembrance of separation in terms of, oh, where are you? It'll be a remembrance of separation like, hey, remember when I forgot that you just lived right over there on the other side of the planet? Yeah. It's got to be like that. Because that sense of distance will be gone. We'll no longer be polarizing ourselves in terms of, this Alvita put a great post up and something we were sharing earlier. We're out of the dualistic mind. And this is what Darren was, and all you guys have reminded me quite clearly with the heart, that where we separate ourselves, where instead of looking at it as what's this issue, what's this opportunity, not putting ourselves out, not blaming others, recognizing that unity we have in all, seeing spirit in all, seeing that Christ consciousness, seeing yourself. So this is coming clearer, so we no longer have this conflict, because it's just like whether we're doing it internal or external, this conflict is coming to an end. And I'm so happy that so many people are sharing that back with me, so it's not just me going crazy in my head again. Is it just me?
No, you conquer the divide. That's it, honey. You got it.
And this divine abundance that is here for us all, man, it's like, Mike, Mike, what's your plan? You just can't take out the old system without a plan. Believe me, this has been 15 years in the making. At least. No, this has been always here, actually. But in terms of, Mike, what's the plan? And I was just like, what do you mean what's the plan? That one's finished. But you got to replace it with something else. And I was always like, what do I got to replace? Nature. Nature doesn't do this. And I was like, yes, she does. No, someone has to do something. You got to, how do people get along? And I was just like, all right, let me go back. I'll figure this out. And you know what? I came right back to the same conclusion, same solution. Guys, the answer was the same 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. It didn't change.
No, we knew it as kids.
And so like this, I went the system that it isn't the one replacing it. It's the one we actually are always living with and didn't recognize.
Mm-hmm.
If nature didn't go somewhere else. The organic grid, that way that we always were living, was always here. We just put this busyness on top of it and said, no, that's what we're doing. That's what causes everything and gives us everything. Just as long as you pay your taxes or whatever bullshit. So that was the overlay that people called the life. And now we're waking up to the fact that that was the dead fictional reality. And we're coming back to truly living. So please, tune into the last two, Max Egan, The Crow House. He'll remind you of the world and everything, and then bring it right on home, like Kate and Seven and so many others. Bring it right on home. This world's going to change in the twinkling of an eye, because it all comes back to self. And in that, coming into our heart where we know we all get along. We are all connected in harmony and unity. The world changes in an instant. We no longer interact in conflict. We no longer interact as a separation. When we do that, there's no more money. There's no more dualistic systems of external exchange, whether it's money, God, business. It's gone. Mike, how do you solve the world's problem? Do you realize when you come back to the heart, that stuff doesn't exist because it's a dead fictional reality that we were playing the game of, outside of ourselves, playing the game of separation, the illusion that this is, only one word I want to say, home. This is what we're coming back to, home. And that's not what home. This is everyone's home. That's what this planet is. This is what she's reminding of us of. You all live in the same home. We are all in the same house. Look up at the sky. We got the same roof, and that roof is clear. It's not a limit. You can go through it if you so choose. But we're in this. This is the beauty. Thank you.
I must be off. Aloha, everyone. Much love.
Much love.
See you in the morning.
Same to you, Colleen.
All right. See you in the morning, Barbara.
All right. Sure will. That's a poem Curtis Mayfield did a song. Come on, let's get on back to living again. That's the name of it. Get on back to living again. And tune. And once you hear that song, that everything that you just said is right in his words. He got them in his lyrics. So you can go to YouTube for that one, Mike, and just look up Curtis Mayfield, old tune, but it's called Let's Get On Back to Living Again. And now that we have acknowledged ourselves as being gods, and there's nothing in the world that we want that we cannot have, but we have to be still, be patient, and always live and let live. And we can't go wrong. Living and loving is all that we're required to do. Is to live and love. The universe, I know, not believe, I've grown from belief. I know that it will guide us and lead us on the path of goodness if that's where we want to go.
I know that's right.
Yes.
That's a true story right there.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Anyone else would like to chime in? Please do.
I think we should start planting our clear flags in front of the house and put notices on our homes of our Christhood, game over, and that instead of fences, because I don't like fences in the backyard because it like stifles the airflow, right? I think we should have raised garden beds in between the yards, and for those of us that have fur friends, we could put gates, and then this way you just go out in your backyard and you've got the raised garden beds all around the perimeter, and you chip in and do the work with your neighbors together, and your whole neighborhood becomes a Garden of Eden, right? I mean,
so beautiful.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
I like your idea.
You changed your neighborhood into a community, is what you did.
Yeah, there you go.
That type of unity. You leave from the neighborhood, that becomes a commune.
This is what's happening. This is what's unfolding. What you just described. This is how we will be living.
That's how I see it.
Described as living, and so that's what we got for us here. This clear flag. I saw somebody with I don't know if it was a white flag or something, and they called it like, I'm not going to call it the anti-flag, but it was still a flag representing no flag, what I'm trying to say. And then you said clear flag. So I'm like, okay, how do you make a clear flag? Because, man, I'm not cool with flags.
Just take an old piece of plastic, bubble wrap, whatever. It doesn't matter. And people will come up to you and say, what is that?
That is
well,
awesome.
I'm just crystal clear on what's going on this planet, and we're returning it back to love now. I say, can you hear me now?
That is... I got a smile on my face. It's so big. It's 333 here.
How simple is it? I mean, let's get this party started.
Yes.
I mean, conquer the divide, people. What's going on here? I mean, I've had enough. I'm like Katie. I am with Katie. If she thinks Fluffy, I have no fear of Fluffy. Fluffy will be looking at me. I've got a line in between my forehead from looking at all the things I've witnessed in my life, saying, what the hell over? Why would anybody even act that way or think that way? When I was 15 years old and I went and saw that movie Halloween, and Jamie Lee Curtis played Laurie in the movie, I jumped out of the chair and into my friend's lap, and I got home, and I had one of those macrame purses. This is back in the 70s, and I'm trying to get the key, and I'm banging on the door. My mother's opening the door as I'm twisting the key, and I said, oh, my God, you scared the shit out of me. She said, what did you just say? Because I cursed. Meanwhile, I walked in the house, and I thought to myself, what kind of a psychopathic movie is that? Giving people, and I'm 15 years old, and I'm thinking to myself, they are planting ideas. Who would come up with such a thing? Who would act this way? And at 15 years old, I realized there are psychopaths on this planet. And when I was 9, I guess it was like 9 or something, when Jaws came out, I had to go sleep that night. We spent the night on the houseboat. Yeah, we were fighting over the top bunk. But Jaws, I didn't think it was that bad because it was a mechanical shark. But that Halloween movie, that's when I realized there are psychopaths on this planet, implanting psychopathic, like Mark Passio said. They're psychopaths, and they're turning humanity into secondary psychopaths. Yeah,
all right, this is
that's
beautiful.
What's been going on.
So let's, Mark Passio, man, I'm like, yes, that day has come. He's going to be on the table tomorrow. Man, I've emailed this guy a bunch of times. His schedule's full, man. It's just so spot on.
I keep up with everything Mark Passio, and when he tells you to go back to podcast number 1,
yeah.
Go back to podcast number 1, honey. I'm telling you, start back at number 1, and I'm up to 45 now. And I started at like 93 with him, I think, and I was able to keep up. But I'm filling in, like he says, the tapestry. It does fill in more of the tapestry, and yes, it's worth it to go back and start at 1. He is absolutely correct. I can back him up 100% on that.
So what's he been getting at? And I'm not sure. He just started talking about it on his last podcast. I'm not sure in his last few interviews, but and you'll know this. It's the cosmic abandonment. This is where he's been. This is where his next part of his work. He's been saying he's.
He's talking about. Oh yes, honey. He's real busy.
So this is the last few recently, because he's been wanting to put this out here for about a year, maybe quite a year. Now it's finally finally he's sharing this part of the cosmic abandonment, opening up on this level of self. This is what he's getting at here. This level of self where we can see it in our personal relationships, how we, again, put ourselves outside of ourselves, blame our partner, oh, I'm missing this, I don't have the love in my life, and how he's relating this to, on a cosmic level, showing how this kind of seed was planted and how we're still...
Right, well, they're like parasites, and they feed off of our fear, these entities. And they do it all through mind control. Govern, from the Greek word gubernare, to control, and ment means mind, to control the mind control. So religion is mind control on the right brain. Politics is left brain control, right? Then you got schooling, which is left brain. So they keep you going back and forth. You go to your left brain job all day, and then you come home and you turn on the right brain television and entertain yourself. So they got you going back, crisscrossing from your left and your right brain, never getting to the center of yourself, always looking outside of yourself, so you never cross the Red Sea. You're crossing back and forth, but you're not, the synopsis is not reaching your higher cerebrum like Santos describes in Your Body is the Holy Land. If you've not seen that, he breaks it down, because I've studied nutrition for 20 years, okay? And so when I watch Santos watch that, I mean, all my 20 years of studying nutrition just came in. I mean, we need to get behind Santos. Whatever's going on with Santos, we need to stand behind Santos and bust this fiction wide ass open on this planet. I mean, it, like Mark Passio says, it's all there. If you look, seek, and ye shall find.
So, as Mark Passio said, and this is what I love, and he's like, I'm here to end slavery.
That's it, period, end of the deal. We are spiritual warriors, not soul dyers.
I'm just like, right on. And I'm speaking the truth here, man. I emailed him. One of the reasons I have Gaia Sophia Dreaming, and I'm helming the transmissions now, is because of him. He called me out. He didn't call me out personally, but he called me out. I listened to Natural. I'm listening to his stuff. He's like, if you ain't sharing this, you're part of the problem. Holy yes, thank you, Mark. And
I've been doing the 12-foot rule my whole life.
And so, man, I
pass out The Calling by Max Ego with Mark Passio, Santos Bonacci, and Kate of Gaia's information on the envelope and on the disc.
And so I was sharing, and I'm sharing, but he just reminded me you can share more, and that's what we're doing. And thank you, Mark. And so one of the things, I haven't even got around to doing it. We've done, I don't know how many shows already, 15, 20 shows. I forget, it doesn't matter. I don't even think of them as shows. I don't even think this is a show. This is, people, hey, you go to the show. I'm like, this ain't a show. This is something beyond that. This is something within. And so what I'm getting is, I want to do his whole natural law presentation. I want to go through slide by slide. I haven't done it because, well, Mark's still beautifully doing it and other beings are doing it. But when that moment comes and I'm like, what can I say? Believe me, Mark Passio's queued up natural law seminar. I'm just like, Kate's writings, just people, Mark Passio, go to his natural law, watch that. It's 9 hours, watch it. He's like, if you can't do my podcast, at least do that. That's essential information. Go to his website, download The End of All Evil. You can get it on his site, What on Earth is Happening. And it's called The End of All Evil. It's about
that's good.
100 pages. Believe me, I read that book. I was like, yes, clear, simple, and lays it all out. And it's not simple. It's deep. But it's
beautiful.
It's beautiful. And Lark and Rose, The Greatest Superstition. It didn't take me. I finally bought the book because the one online, it only has like 50 pages, but it's 200 pages. But it's another book. You read the first 10 or 20 pages of either of these books. These are two of the books Mark Passio says required reading. If you don't get this stuff, I'm not saying you have to go back and do all of this stuff, but if you don't resonate with these concepts already, here's your homework. And once you do this ain't big homework. This is something you're gonna have a smile on your face, because it's almost like deprogramming. Like really, it's like, oh, here's the clear way it's described. It's like once you hear Noam Chomsky in a way describe things, then read The End of All Evil, and you're gonna get another whole clear picture of the game, and it's gonna take the personal out of it. You won't think the Queen or any of this, just this authority game we've been playing outside of ourselves. And it's just bringing that right on home. And so, and then Larkin Rhodes, he doesn't even go into the spiritual aspect. And people are like, well, is he there? Is he that? I don't know. But I'll tell you this much, he can describe that one to a T. That whole game, the system, the government, the schools, the military, and the authority game. Again, just so beautiful. And what I'm getting at is, it only takes the first 10 pages. There's another 50 or 100 pages. It's just expanding on it. So really, it gives it all to you, the whole intent. And this is the beauty of Mark Passio and 7, Kate. The intent is already shared. The words are kind of the after effect. And they're just so beautiful also. We get the the glow of that. But believe me, the intent of the heart is really shared by all, like in an instant. In the twinkling of an eye, you've walked down the street, you've seen someone, and your eyes just connected, and it's just like, what just exchanged here? What was just shared here? This is happening. This is happening right now. The synchronicities are just going to exponentially multiply until it's almost like you won't need any synchronicities anymore. We'll be that in tuned with the heart vibration coming from our core, the core of the planet, the galactic core that is the middle of this being we're in. Under our feet. The galactic core is here. It ain't somewhere distant in space. This was the bit of if I don't know if anyone else caught it, that Seven shared. This is why we keep going through the sun and coming back here.
We have to get the intent eye on. Tent is a triangle. Your triune brain. Intent eye on. Get so that triangle firing.
There you go. Thank you. And we're going to share this more and more. And the key to all of this, so these guys lay it out so beautifully. I listen to this and I'm like, great. The next step for all of us, the so-called next step, is the power of our imagination.
Exactly.
If we don't do this, we're just letting the old program play.
I want to see your art more. Culture is art. Where would we be on this planet if we didn't have Italian food, Mexican food, Chinese food, French food, all of these foods? If everything was the same, it would be so flipping boring.
But
we are kind of bored with this whole system because somebody else has authored it. We haven't.
Right. And
so I want to see everybody art more.
Thank you. This culture, this is another thing that's coming clear. I think Seven shared some information about this and some others. If you go into, Kate has shared about it. This culture has been polluted. We live in this is the old system. That's the culture. Do you understand? Imagine a petri dish. That's the old paradigm we've been playing in. That culture has been tampered with, infected, so many different things. And
it was limited.
It was limited. There you go. Just that. It was limited. That and there's a new culture, I want to say, and this is beyond the limiting.
It's boundless.
Yes. And so
my love is boundless. It knows no boundaries.
Yes. And this is
I am you.
So there's no more borders.
You sounding like Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Is that Mike and Lori? Boundless. That's their record. Kim Kardashian, Kanye West on the motorcycle thing. Is something about.
You got to see James Franco and and
Rogan. Rogan. They did it too. So now I want to see Lori and Mike on the motorcycle.
So I wanted to talk about Kate with this. It was the movie they all made together called The End of the World, where they played themselves. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. Oh, my word. At the end of the movie, is anybody here is on the line? I'll have to bring it up the next show, the next time we tune in the Emerald Table. But The End of the World, at the end, they're all been ascended, they beamed up to heaven or whatever, and the Backstreet Boys jump out all in white. Everyone's in white. The Backstreet Boys jump out and they're singing a song, man. I was out of the country, I was in India at that time, so it's quite hilarious, their take on The End of the World, bringing humor to this. And if those guys are ever tuned in, drop in, man, chime in. Love your laughter. And what I'm getting at here is this, where this beautiful until you anyways, Lori and Barbara, go on.
I haven't seen that movie, so I'm not familiar with it.
All right, so this End of the World, and so it had me laughing about that was the reminder I'm trying to get back to. what was this scenario?
Boundless.
This boundless, this limitless, that there's no borders. And this is the
No, there's
imagination.
only free-flowing oceans.
Right. And so this is what you have to think, and this is what I loved when you took it out of the neighborhood to the community. This is we're one community, we're one civilization. That includes
we're
all
one
the
people
animals.
on one planet.
And that includes the animals, the insects, the minerals. That's the civilization. That's one.
I am the dog. I am the cat. I am the chair. I put myself in everything. I'm my desk. I'm the tile. I'm everything. I take care of everything.
So when you can imagine a world where there's no more countries, there's no more town, there's no more states, there's no more of that bullshit. Really, bullshit. I want you to picture this now in your mind, in your heart. Feel this and know
It's been there
this.
since I was a child.
Exactly. That's what we need to realize. Yeah, that's the world we're living in.
Yeah.
And what you guys are playing it, yeah, that's good. That's stopped and no more. Yeah, take that flag. Yep, good fire starter. We've heard it in the music. It's been shared to us. No borders, no lines between us, no separation. So that is coming. That is here for us. That's where we live. Earth doesn't separate herself like that. Why would we? Nature doesn't do that. Nature doesn't go, I live on this continent, you live on that continent, nanny boo boo, whatever the fuck. No.
Nature is wild, and things that grow in the wild grow there because the conditions are right.
Yes. And
that's why We Are the World of the original is still in harmony right now. It explains exactly what we're talking about. We're not separate. We are the world. Listen
and so
to
when
it,
people are waking up to the fact that there's no solution from their government, from their religion, from their job, from whatever they thought was outside their God, whatever they
they don't do nothing. The E's and we do it all.
Yes,
they just have us under mind control, and we're following orders because they're authoring our lives, and that's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
And so as
can you hear me now?
So as we know this, we know that everyone else knows this in their hearts, because it comes naturally. So don't look at the masses or the rest as they are missing something or don't have it. No, they got it. It's right there in their hearts. It's nature sharing with them every moment. The more we tune it in, the more we amp that volume up, the more everyone's going to start hearing it and singing it too. Mike, how did you defeat all the governments in the world? I tuned in the heart song.
It's like Kate says, they're not even in my existence anymore.
Exactly.
You just close that chapter. You put the book back on the shelf, and that's the end of the deal.
Yeah,
we're done with that.
Imagination, this tuning in our heart. This is what we need to do. And then all those old systems fade away, gone. Yeah, it's beautiful. I see it already.
Yep.
I definitely.
It's a matter of changing your mind, and like Max Egan says, we can do it in a day. It's a matter of changing your mind. That's it. Once the people start seeing more people, it's a numbers game. It's like there's 4 aces in every deck, and the numbers are growing every single day because the energies are coming in. That's what the apocalypse, the uncovering of revelations, the revealing of something previously not known, because we turned everything upside down in the age of iron and forgot in our unconsciousness, and now we're coming back up, heaved up, heaven, heaved up in the head, like Santos explained to us, in the cerebrum. When you get your ion, your third ion, the real mon, one I, the real profit, not the fake money profit, for profit against your brothers and sisters, usury over it. Yeah, it's really simple.
And now the day is April the 22nd, and we just came out of Aries, which was ruled by Santos and those March 21st to the April 20th. Now we're into Taurus the Bull. We left from I am to I have, and I have is the stage to where we are now, which is all. He also teaches us that that's our fixed side. So we left the fire, and now we're into earth. So I guess we could calm down just a little bit before we go up into that air with that crazy-ass Gemini. But in the meantime, we'll just mellow back and enjoy the fruits of the world here in this Taurus, being that I'm Taurus, the Bull's my zodiac sign. Our philosophy is what you want to do. You want to try something new? That's what I ask young men when I be trying to take advantage of their bodies.
So nice and grounding. I love Taurus. Nice and very earthing for me.
Yeah, so today is Earth Day, and I don't know if anyone mentioned it or if anyone's even remembering. Every day is Earth Day for me. So it's celebrate again the next day and the next day and the next day. This is what's coming into awareness. What day is it tomorrow? Earth Day. What day is the next day? Earth Day. What's for lunch the next day? It's the same.
And like I say, every day is Christmas too.
Yeah, that's the reminder. That's what my dad used to say. Every day is Christmas. Do I have to get you a present on Christmas? Every day is Christmas. You don't need a present then either.
Exactly.
You're always in the present, son. And so this is coming on home, and I'm so happy. It's like we didn't have to go anywhere except back to ourselves. And so we could play, you did it to me, you did it to me, you did it to me. And then, there's no recourse. There's no solution out there. So you had to come back to yourself. What's the solution? It's just like, yeah, that's what you have to do. Come back to yourself and just think for a moment and tune in. And you'll no longer go back out and so-called fight the system. As Max Egan reminds us, and, other guys have said this, Noam Chomsky said it way back when about protesting. Yeah, you need to take it to the next level. And he shares it beautifully on the last episode about this. I'm happy. Guy recently tuned into Infinite Waters.
Oh, I love him too.
Oh my, what is he? Diving Deep. Wow.
Yes.
Beautiful, brother.
Infinite Waters.
Thank you. And
over London.
Yeah, Ralph Smart.
Is that program out of London, England?
I think he is.
Okay, I think I've heard that.
Infinite Waters, if you Google, he's got a YouTube, he's got a website.
I heard it years ago. I remember him a few years ago. Yeah, I remember Infinite Waters.
He's got it. He's tuned in right now with the heart deep. It's not even, we're all right here at the core, and we're recognizing that, and we're expressing that, and everyone's coming home. And because you're already here, and we're all waking up to that fact. And it's beautiful.
Wakey, wakey.
So with that, we got about, whenever Blog Talk's going to now say whatever she does. About 2 or 3 minutes left in the recording, in the live transmission with the heart.
So you're on tomorrow, Mike?
Yeah, we're on
tomorrow?
At 4 a.m. Well, it's tomorrow. It's today for some. So 4 a.m. in the dream time here in Hawaii.
And how do you spell it? Giasofia?
Gaia. How do you spell Gaia? How do you spell Gaia? Am I spelling it wrong recently?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Like Kate of Gaia.
G-A-I-A. Sophia. S-O-P-H-I-A. Kate of Gaia, Sophia. That's about 10 o'clock the United States time. I get them 10 o'clock in the morning.
10 in the morning? Okay, because I'm in Florida.
Yeah,
all right, so when I get up, maybe I'll have coffee with Mike. How's that?
Yeah, beautiful. And
But how about that?
Yeah, if you want to dance with your coffee, I'm feeling.
Oh yes, I'm ready. Barefoot, whatever. In my sleepy pants, I'm ready. The bird's ready too.
I got to get in the garden and dance. I'm even bring out my little speakers and have my computer on the deck and then go out on the garden and dance myself. I have a feeling I'm going to be shifting neighborhoods, so to say, soon because I can't blast it the way I like to. In my neighborhood here, people are going to be sleeping and they're kind of close to me. So I have this other location in my heart that's being reminded of me, and I'm like, oh yeah, right there I could do that. Woo! I'm going to be dancing next to the ocean.
I like it really loud too. I got a bird here that goes wild with the music.
Oh, thank you.
Man, I'm happy. I'm happy with that reminder. I'm like, nature, you gifting me this? Yes. I'm like, thank you. So everyone tune into the Emerald Table. K to Gaia outside the box. We are here. K to Gaia, Paul Giovanni, Ninja. Thank you all.
Thank you everyone. I love everyone.
Yeah. Thank you all.
And I'm here with you every night.
Much love all.
Paradise right here on earth. Thank you.
In Lakesh.
In Lakesh. Aloha.
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 Fulford, and fool indeed. But again, I look at it from the anagogic. I'll take the headlines and redefine them as it pertains to my reality that I am in control of. That no one can plant seeds in me. I have my own. Thank you very much, and I'll keep those to myself and share those seeds with anyone who wants to share. Other than that, it's like the table here. I didn't drag any of you kicking and screaming to the table. You came here of your own true will choice, not just free will choice. So in that choice, you have contracted with truth. And the truth is yours. This is the whole joke about it. Once you really get into this and see how incredibly magnificent you are, that's the bitch about doing this, because that's all I see. And it's like, and many of you are starting to just go nova. That's the shit I'm talking about. When I see superstars going supernova, I get all tingly and excited, and this is fun, But it's a very simple truth. It had to be simple. It had to be so mind-numbingly simple as to how we got caught up in this, how it happened to us drip by drip while we weren't paying close attention. Well, some of us were, and some of us have, quite frankly, had enough, and we're just taking it all down. So it's a little contract, spiritual contract for anyone that's working in the, say legal profession, government, anything connected to that whatsoever. Anytime you ask for anyone's legal, and then collections, I don't care, anyone that is using the name to try to create a spiritual joinder to kill you, by the way, spiritually, by asking for that name, is actually guilty of the highest crime of all. Now, there are many that are ignorant of this, yet retain and maintain a benevolent soul. As we were talking earlier on the afternoon show, these are just people that wanted to do a job. They had no idea what they were getting into. And the masters that deceived them by proper and meticulous, careful training, and of course, ego boosting, that's all part of the game. It's that, sell them on the power, the money, and all the rest of it. You can't really look at it any other way than a lot of beautiful people that had beautiful intentions that got corrupted, not of their own free will choice. Because the problem with the system is once you get into something, and I don't care what it is, the newspapers or being a cop or whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. You get into doing these things because you've been conditioned since the day you got here that you need to go out and make money, that you need to go out and exchange energy for fictitious concepts, that you can trade those fictitious concepts for somebody else. and get something from them. And really what this does is it absolutely limits your ability of abundance, because you feel that you need to do something in order to have anything. You see what I mean about being? How about you just be and accept all things? So getting back to the whole court thing, and I have to say, John, your little video that you took where you got your with compliments court canceled note back. For anyone that is thinking that they want to, win a legal battle, how about you just not bother? How about you just win? Because once you know this, and this is the frustrating part, sure I will. Wouldn't make sense to do anything else, now would it? But that being said, let's get this table wide open tonight. And again, everyone, be mindful of time lags with different Skype areas and phone lines and whatever. They do kind of work fairly well at the table, but there's sometimes can be a 1 to 3 second delay. So just breathe, and when someone finishes their point, by all means jump in. It's just to stop all of it's you guys know it. It's just annoying. It's like crazy. But and most times it is just because of the time lag. So I do want to bring that up again tonight. Other times it's just people needing to jump and get excited, and I get that too. But guys, we have the end game, so let's just stay the course. And I want to hear from every one of you. So that being said, all you need to do is call in at 661-467-2401. Of course, you can Skype in through the Blog Talk page. Hit the Skype button, and I'm just looking for the looks like a BTR listener 056. Thank you, Equicentric. Look at you guys go. All right, so yes, BTR listener 056. So if you want to search that in your contacts, right-click it, hit call. It'll bring you right to the table. What else? Oh, yeah. You want to get on the table, let me know that you want to talk. All you have to do is hit 1 on your dial pad on your phone, or hit 1 on the Skype dial pad. You just have to open that up. And would love to hear from all of you. It was great chatting with Amy and Borean and Darren. Lynn was there. Who else? Oh, there was a lot of people there. That's the thing is, yeah, you all know who you are. So thank you for that. And then let's just get more of this going on, because it's not important anymore that I speak of the quote victories unquote that I have had. That's irrelevant to you. What is more important to me now is you sharing the very same things to show others that we're onto something here. I know we are, but you know what I mean. It's better that others hear it from someone other than me, the mouthy tranny. Okay? Just that's the agreement to the, look, we're winning concept, so that we carry that one further. So hands up, boys and girls. Let's get this puppy rolling. Who wants in? No one's got their hand up yet. Oh, there we go. Janet's there. There's an untouchable. How are you, Janet?
Great, untouchable with you. Yeah, that was a beautiful show today. I was just so floating. It was so beautiful sharing with Darren and you and Amy. I heard her on Mike's show, too. I was really happy to hear her voice. And Borean, I finally got to hear him, and just everyone, Ninja, even though she didn't get to stay very long. But that was a beautiful story as well. So, yeah, I'm just being happy.
Yeah, it was wall to wall. Get it done today, and it didn't stop. You know.
No, it was perfect. Yep, and I had the bottle of water. I've been charging it with the table energy, so that's been really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like speaking truth and then drinking it.
Yeah. Yep, got to keep this going as fast as I can.
The faster the better, I think, and...
You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Good evening. Welcome to Outside the Box. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia, here at criticalmassradio.co.uk. And boy, did we ever have a lot of fun this afternoon on the earlier show on the Two for Tuesdays. Just an incredible amount of sharing. I will actually be downloading anyway, but get that particular show up where a few people need to experience it. It's not you don't hear this when you experience it. But anyway, that being said, where do we go from here? Well, I'll tell you, the impact that we are having collectively now on this universal psyche is getting beyond profound, which is exactly kind of the goal we were aiming for anyway, So it's about taking back your own causal abilities. And normally you'll hear people talk about be, do, and have. And you cannot even get into the doing or the having aspect until you truly be. And the simple truth is this, and people can argue it all day. I know what it is. It's just pure, caught in the physicality, ego, trying to defend the last bastions of bullshit, right? You cannot be causal if you are unknowingly and ignorantly acting as a legal, dead by consent, fiction name. That's a fact. And that's why anyone that's wanting to walk into courtrooms of any kind whatsoever, this is the one fundamental thing that people need to get. Until that contract is nullified in your heart, it's not a piece of paper. You don't need anyone's permission to send anything anywhere. I just simply send out information, my truth as I uncover it. And I just broadcast it, because the joy of the system, in that it will destroy itself, already has, is that anything deemed sent is already deemed contract upon sending. And it's very easy to prove. For any egos that still can't get this. If there's a mailbox on the side of your house without a lock on it, without strict instructions as to what you will or will not accept, again, I'm being very literal here, trying to give you the concept. If you haven't outlined it in pure, this is all you will accept, and you are accepting all contracts. Occasionally people will say, no solicitors and no junk mail. And of course, go figure, they actually abide by that. So you can tell, if you want to play with this just to have some fun, just put in a little something, and get this in your heart first. Put a little notice in your mailbox, not accepting anything with dead legal fiction name on it. Thank you. Now, whether they put anything in the mailbox or not is relevant, because you've broken that string connecting you ethereally to the assumption. Once you remove all the assumption and presumption that others have over you, thinking that somehow someone has authority to tell you what to do. This is why, people that talk about voting, or, anyone that's even considering, well, I'm going to run for office with this new party, and you're still a fucking meat stick. You're completely enmeshed in the system, and you haven't got a clue as to who you are. It was kind of funny. I checked out a link that was shared on my Facebook regarding Benjamin. Empowering yourself with the understanding of it and informing other points of consciousness, typically duped in the system, and watch the magic happen. And it's happening more and more every day. We have lots of things going on, and people come to the table and share that which they need to share. And that this table is here. For me, it's just the one point of absolute certainty that I know I'm going to be gathering around with people of similar mind, of similar heart, to take this nonsense out of our reality and to shut it down once and for all. And I do mean for all time. And that's what we're doing here. That's why it's here 7 nights a week. It's that one point of reference that I can come to, and hopefully all of you can come to, where we can sit around sanely and discuss these things. No debates required. That game doesn't work. You see, ego has to believe something. That's the problem with ego. The spirit simply knows. And when someone believes this or believes that, then they are dealing in a duality, and will fight literally to the death to prove their point. You know, it's crazy. But that's what the ego is. The ego is the schizophrenic. It is the external program. And when you start really finding you in that quagmire of nonsense, 4 words. Kate, you were right. Well, make it 6. Make it 7, actually. I am awesome. Yes, you are. And that's all I'm trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you that. It took me a long time to figure that out, and I'm still working on it. You know, we are walking this road together, yeah? We all have our roles to play. And I'm watching the magic unfold as so many of you are just getting shit done, you know? And the system, as we peel these layers back, has no recourse. There is no legal remedy in this system. There is no set court precedence. There is no setting this or setting that. That's still Babylonian psychobabble. Because if you know who you are, and many of you do, it's as simple as, I know who I am. I'm not of the dead by consent realm. Because the only thread the system has to you, and it connects all things to the whore of Babylon commerce, is the legal name. You agree to be that, then you are in contract with the whore. Dead by consent, so don't think that you can go into court and fight because you're already dead. That's why courts cannot hear you. Any and all courts cannot hear the dead. They'd be insane. They don't talk to dead people. They leave that up to, humanity until they awaken. So there is the good and evil aspect of it. And they will test you. They will want to make sure that you know who you are. I've been tested many times. Some a little more intense than others, but I know who I am. And at whatever cost it is physically for me, I'll trade that for immortality. It's so crazy simple. If someone comes up to you and asks you for your name, all you have to answer them is simply this. Is this so-and-so? No. Are you sure? Absolutely, I'm sure. Does so-and-so live there? No. Just asking you for a who, asking for a what. And if you answer as a what, you're dead. I don't know. Inanimate objects are whats, not whos, right? So it's time for Horton to hear a who instead of a what. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I'm going to keep drilling on this until this crazy simple thing sinks in. This is why, for people that are quite sure of who they are yet, just not quite sure, well, you don't have to do anything with regards to destroying identification. However, I'd highly recommend it. But understand that is a contract, that there is an agreement to it. Just simply look at it and go, no, that was fraud. Everything you've ever carried in identification is fraud. The question is, do you want to continue committing fraud on a spiritual level? And if the answer is no, well, then that is all erased. These were all contracts done with deception and fraud, with intent to deceive. And we covered this a long time ago. But again, I want to try to keep it simple, simple, simple. And what he did was he kept it simple. Used a document, I who shall not be legally named, with regards to a citation or something. And it had nothing to do with the paperwork. This is what people need to understand. The writing that are in the documents that I share and write are words. They're my words because I understand them fully, because they're the concept that I'm trying to share. And all anyone else has to do to make them their words is get the concepts and just ask yourself, would I write it in the same way that Kate did to explain the same thing? And if the answer is yes, then whose writing is it? It's yours. It's a really simple thing. But you've got to spend the time with you. You've got to spend the time. If you really want to set, never mind setting yourself free. That's the primary directive here, because you're not going to set anybody else free until you set yourself free. The same reason why on airplanes They always recommend that put the mask on the adult first before you put it on the child, because there's no point in you trying to save a child if by chance you end up getting wiped out. That's an allegory, not a literal. Okay, just see the concept. You got to take care of yourself first. You got to be the one to take care of you, because I'll tell you the magic of taking care of you, that everyone that is attached to you, that you love, that has compassionate heart and benevolence, and you might not always get along with the ones you love, but you know them well enough. That's the greatest service you could do. Because in awakening yourself, by default, those with the compassionate heart come with you. And those that are simply Bioborg meets Shetty, soulless, evil consciousness, they get obliterated, all right? Sorry, you can't rationalize or reason with something that's insane or psychotic. Just let it go, erase it from your memory. And it really, really is this simple. And I go back to the same question: what paperwork should I use? For me, it's not about serving documents in the standard Case Phi L. This is simply taking your truth, your knowledge,